the TV. We'll provide great movies like Raising Arizona.
Tune in tonight at 8 o'clock on WEIU. This is WEIU, serving Charleston, Decatur, and Springfield.
WEIU Sports presents Eastern Illinois Panther football.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to O'Brien Field on the campus of Eastern Illinois University in Charleston. It's homecoming weekend 2013, and for today's football game, it's the Eastern Illinois Panthers set to take on the Redhawks of Southeast Missouri State. I'm Mike Brad, along with Jack Ashmore. Eastern comes into this game riding high. They're 5-1 overall, 2-0 in the conference, and Jack Ashmore ranked in the nation as high as they've been in over 10 years.
Well, the Panthers currently ranked 3 in the country. They started off ranked, but not high, and to move up like they have required several things to happen. First, they played very well, winning all but one of their ball games, and they've turned in impressive numbers in the process. Teams in front of them have had to lose, and that's happened. And certainly the Panthers' tough early season schedule has been taken under consideration. EIU has beaten one FBS team and played an unbeaten team from Northern, a very tough ball game. So it's really hard to imagine things going any better to this point for the Panthers.
Eastern's offense ranks number 1 in the nation in scoring, total offense and passing, and quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, Jack, right now may be the leader for the Outstanding Player in the Nation award.
I would certainly think so. He continues to rewrite the record books, both at EIU and at the OVC. He's the current record holder in several passing categories, so just about every time he does something, it sets a new record. And although you never know how those voters will cast their ballots at the end of the year, you'd have to figure that Garoppolo right now is the leader in the race for the Peyton Award.
Panthers coming onto the field, set to face a young Southeast Missouri State team that is 1-5 overall, 1-2 in the conference, but the win came last week, Jack, in their best performance of the year.
Yeah, that was a very nice win over Murray State. It was in overtime, and they've got a good quarterback. Scott Lathrop is one of those quarterbacks that really cause defensive coordinators to lose sleep at night. He throws well, he runs well, he leads the Redhawks in both of those categories, and he's the reigning OVC Player of the Week. And for SEMO to have a chance this afternoon against the Panthers, Lathrop's going to have to play very well.
It's rainy this morning, but the sun's been out for a couple of hours. It's a little chilly, though, a little windy here at O'Brien Field today. We'll be back with a kickoff between the Panthers and the Redhawks in 1 minute on the Panther Football Network.
Eastern Illinois Panther Sports on WEIU are brought to you in part by
Sarah Bush Lincoln Health System, providing care for all and creating healthy communities, offering general and specialty medicine and a complement of diagnostic and rehabilitative services. Sarah Bush Lincoln, trusted, compassionate care.
additional funding provided by viewers like you. Thank you.
Here's a classic movie quiz. 1987's Raising Arizona stars Holly Hunter and Nicolas Cage.
That there's the kitchen area where Mom and Pa chow down.
Who was the film's cinematographer?
We never done this before.
It was Barry Sonnenfeld, who went on to direct Men in Black. You provide the popcorn, the couch, and the TV. We'll provide great movies like Raising Arizona.
Tune in tonight at 8 o'clock on WEIU.
52 degrees as we hit kickoff time in Charleston. This is the 21st time the two schools have met on the football field. Eastern Illinois got a 14-6 edge in the series. Panthers won the game last year 39-20 here in Charleston, ending a 2-game losing streak to the Redhawks. Panthers have won 8 out of the last 9 played in Charleston. The head coaches, Tony Samuel in his 8th year as the head coach at Southeast Missouri State. He's got a record of 29 wins and 56 losses. Before that, he was the head coach at New Mexico State and had 2 winning seasons there in 8 years as the head coach. He's had just 1 winning season at SEMO, but it was a good one. Back in 2010, they won the OVC championship and went to the playoffs for the only time in school history. Dino Babers in his second year at EIU is 12-6. He's never lost a home game. He is 7-0 at home at O'Brien Field. Southeast Missouri State won the toss, and they are going to receive the opening kickoff, and they're going to be going, I think, into a win just a little bit, Jack, although, again, we think primarily it's a crosswind here today.
Yeah, it's primarily out of the west, which would be a crosswind here at O'Brien Field. It's interesting that they elected to receive the football. Most teams now defer to the second half, but when Eastern wins the toss, the Panthers want to get their hands on the football, so maybe that was just a little counter strategy by the SEMO Redhawks to keep the Panthers offense off the field initially.
Taylor Kerr will kick off for Eastern Illinois. Lewis Washington on the near hash. Spencer Davis on the far hash, the deep men for Southeast Missouri State. Davis second in the OVC in kickoff returns. Here we go, Eastern Illinois, Southeast Missouri State underway. It's not a deep kick at all. They run up and take it at the 19-yard line. This is Washington to the 25, to the 30, and tackled around the 32-yard line. That's where the Southeast Missouri State defense, or offense rather, will set up. Tackle made for Eastern by Pete Houlihan. So for the Redhawks, their quarterback is Scott Lathrop. We'll check the SEMO offense if we can. They'll be out first. Their offensive line has got Corey Porter at center, Christian Guerrero, Billy Dasher the guards, Jake McCandless and Ben Schmidt are the tackles for Southeast Missouri State. They open up at their 32-yard line, first down, 10 yards to go. Lathrop working from under center, gives it straight up the middle and no gain whatsoever by DeMichael Jackson, the starting tailback. He ran into the middle of a wall of blue shirts on the defense for Eastern. No gain on that play. Dino Fonte on the stop for Eastern Illinois.
DeMichael Jackson is the second leading rusher on SEMO behind the quarterback Lathrop.
Second down, 10 yards to go. Southeast Missouri State at their 32-yard line. We'll get the Eastern defense set for you here in just a second. Out of the shotgun now, Lathrop running option to the right, coming to the corner, pitches back to Jackson, and he is pushed out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Robert Haynes, the middle linebacker, on the tackle for the Panthers. Eastern has got Fedney Delfons and Patrick Wertz at defensive ends, John Boytilla and Dino Fonte at the tackles, Camu Gruget Hill, Adam Gristic, Robert Haynes at linebacker, DJ Bland and Pete Houlihan are the corners. Jordan Wycliffe and Nick Beard starting at safety today for Eastern. We thought Beard would maybe sit this one out, but that changed since Thursday. Third down, 9 to go, Southeast Missouri State. They're converting only 34% of the time on third down. Eastern's defense is allowing only a 31% conversion rate, and there's a full start coming up against Southeast Missouri.
Offense, number 4, 5 yards, third down.
So a guy in motion too soon and a penalty on the Redhawks, and that's a rare occurrence. They're averaging only 31 yards in penalties a game. That is the second least penalized team in the nation, so they've been great at avoiding penalties.
Well, they had it third and pretty long at the 3rd and 9. Now it's third down and 14 yards to go. So Eastern has a great opportunity to get off the field here and turn the ball over to the offense.
3rd and 14 to go. Wide to the right comes wide receiver Peter Lloyd for Southeast Missouri State. They've got 2 wideouts to the left. Here's Lathrop out of the shotgun, sets up. Eastern only rushes 2, drop 9, throw to the right is incomplete. Panthers with a little zone blitz there. One of the defensive linemen even dropped back into pass coverage. It'll be 4th and 14.
Panthers had that play well covered, even though Lathrop had a lot of time to throw it. Even had the pass been caught, it would have been short of a first down.
Alex Knight comes in to punt for Southeast Missouri, 7th in the OVC at 38.7 to kick. Eastern sends 2 men deep. This is unusual. Eric Laura is the deepest back on the Panther 30. And up closer is Shepard Little, the primary return man. He's around the 40, the shallower of the 2 here. So here's Wright, the freshman from Fort Lauderdale. Low snap, little rugby roll to the left, kicks to the far side. Little there, but lets it bounce, and it goes across the Panther 40, across the 35, rolls dead at the 33. Eastern did a good job of awareness there to get away from that bouncing football.
Yeah, for a moment there, that was a little bit dangerous as there were some blue-shirted Panthers in the vicinity, and they managed to clear out and get away from that bouncing football.
39-yard punt. Eastern offense onto the field, led by their fine quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo. Taylor Duncan will be the primary running back to start. Nick Borey at center. Colin Seibert and Alex Pierce at guard. Dominic Pagliara, James Lowry at tackles for the Panthers. They send 2 wideouts to the right, 3 to the left. First down, 10 to go. Garoppolo to throw out of the gun. A lot of time, throws to the right, caught by Taylor Duncan on the far sideline, wrestled out of bounds just short of the 40-yard line. Pick up of close to 5. Ben Cargbo, the free safety, made the tackle for Southeast Missouri State.
Taylor Duncan's coming off a good ball game last week against Austin Peay. He had a career high 128 yards rushing.
2nd and 5. There's Duncan on a carry up the middle, hit hard and stopped at the 40-yard line. Picked up only 2. It'll bring up a 3rd down, 4 to go for Eastern. Duncan needs 22 yards at the start of the day to go over 1,000 in his career. Middle linebacker Roper Garrett on the tackle. Eastern 3rd down, 4 to go. Panthers converting 49% of the time on 3rd down, 12th in the country. Garoppolo takes the snap, 4-man rush. He's going to throw to the right. It's caught by Laura. First down, breaks a tackle, 50, 45, 40, off the block, 30. He's gone. Eric Laura all the way. Touchdown, Eastern Illinois. His 13th touchdown this season. Shades of last year, Jack, when he caught a short pass against SEMO, broke a tackle at the line and went all the way.
Well, that was pretty much an individual effort by Laura. He got open in space, made one man miss, and then showed the speed to get himself to the end zone. Once again, Mike, the Panthers off to a quick start in the ballgame.
3 plays, 67 yards for a quick touchdown for Eastern. And now Cameron Barra in to try the point after. This has been really the most testing part of Eastern's entire team this year, are these extra points and field goals. There's the snap. It's placed down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. We've got a timeout on the field with 12:41 left to go in the first quarter. Eastern Illinois strikes quickly and takes a 7-0 lead over Southeast Missouri State. Back in a minute on the Panther Football Network.
Eastern Illinois Panther Sports on WEIU are brought to you in part by
Drake Homes, building homes right here in East Central Illinois. Design Build, where design start. Indoor-outdoor connection. Phone 1-800-356-2572. For Drake Homes of Charleston, good luck Panthers from Drake Homes.
additional funding provided by viewers like you. Thank you. WEIU is your home for Eastern Illinois Panther sports, Panther football.
Two-point conversion. They throw it to Laura running around the right end on a reverse. Throws a pass, and it is caught. The Panthers win.
Panther basketball.
To Akers cutting through. He's 2-on-1. Ahead to Blanford. A dunk. There's a good way to break about an 8-minute scoring drought.
Panther greats. WEIU is your home for Panther sports.
Quick work for Jimmy Garoppolo, Dino Babers, and the Eastern Illinois offense, Jack, but this is all number 8.
Yeah, just a short pass. There was a nice move as he ran through a tackle, and then he just showed his speed down the right sideline as he took it all the way for the touchdown. Great play by Laura, and Panthers striking quickly in this ball game, Mike. You know, for a team like Eastern, which is highly ranked, playing a team like SEMO, which comes in as a heavy underdog, it's very important for the Panthers to punch him in the nose early and maybe create some doubts among the Redhawks whether or not they'll be able to play with the Panthers this afternoon.
29 touchdown pass of the year for Garoppolo, 5 short of the Eastern school record for touchdown passes in a season, and we begin the second half of the season today. That's how good he's doing. Taylor Kerr will kick off, the junior out of Indianapolis. The deep men are Davis and Washington. Here's Kerr on the run up. And again, he hits a squib this time, bouncing up the middle of the field, and the SEMO just falls on the ball at the 34-yard line. We've seen Eastern, Jack, use a variety of strategies on kickoffs to keep the ball out of the hands of the return guy, and there we saw another.
Yeah, they'll have fairly good field position with the ball outside the 30-yard line. That's been one aspect in addition to the extra point and field goal problems. The Panthers have been giving up fairly good field position on their kickoffs. They haven't been normally able to kick the ball deep enough to ensure the opposition starting with bad field position.
34-yard line for SEMO to start this drive, and they've got Lathrop in the shotgun on first down, 10 to go. Here's the snap, handoff to the fullback, Ron Coleman, and he got a couple of yards through the middle, tripped up, it looked like, by Dino Fonte, the sophomore defensive tackle from Venice, Florida, who comes in with 2 fumble recoveries this year, and that is tied for second place in the OVC. Second down, 8 to go. SEMO from their 36. They are acting as if they want to snap it quickly, and then most of the time they'll step back and look to the far sideline and get the play signaled in. So really they're no huddle, but they're not up-tempo the way they play.
SEMO with 3 rushing attempts and 3 net yards.
Second down, 8 to go, and they need to get that ground game going because they are not a strong passing team. There's the snap. Lathrop is going to run himself. Comes to the right across the 35. Grabbed and stopped at the 40. Alex McNulty, the senior from Bolingbrook, came up out of the secondary. Tackled Lathrop, but a good run by Lathrop, and a third and short coming up.
Alex McNulty is not normally a starter, but he's played a lot of minutes in this season, mainly as a reserve for injured players.
He's at cornerback right now. In fact, he's subbing for DJ Bland at this particular moment, but he's also started games at safety this year as well. Third down, 3 to go for Southeast Missouri from their 41. Out of the shotgun, Lathrop takes the snap. Panthers blitz. He's going to throw to the left, and it is caught, and a first down, I think. Making the catch, Spencer Davis, and he just got past the first down yard marker to the 45. First down, Redhawks. So Panthers came after him on the blitz, and Lathrop did a good job to get rid of it quickly, and Eastern had given Davis quite a bit of cushion.
Yeah, he went to the short man there, and Davis knew just exactly how many yards he had to get for the first down.
First and 10 Redhawks at their 45. Eastern Illinois leads the game 7-0 with over 11 minutes to go in the first quarter at O'Brien Field. Panthers scored on their third play from scrimmage. Here's Lathrop now, sophomore quarterback out of Warrenton, Missouri. Takes the snap and hands up the middle. Coleman gets across the 45, brought down about the 48. Coleman's a big guy. He's a junior, 5'11", 267, a 3-time Nebraska State wrestling champion in high school. He's from Omaha. Picked up 3 yards there to the 48. Adam Gristick brought him down. Second down, 7 for the Redhawks. They've got Coleman at running back. Wide to the right comes Peter Lloyd. Wide to the left goes Spencer Davis and Paul McRoberts. Their leading receiver, DJ Foster, not on the field right now. They motion Davis through the backfield on second down, 7 from their 48. There's the snap. Lathrop back, looking to the right, pressured, and got away at the 45. Runs it himself up to the 48. Dino Fonte almost had the sack. Lathrop slipped away, though, and gained, virtually no gain on the play, but avoided the loss. Patrick Wertz brought him down.
Good play by Fonte. Even though he couldn't finish the play off, he slowed Lathrop up enough to prevent any kind of significant gain.
Lathrop is slippery. He doesn't look all that hard to tackle, but he is. Third down, 7 for Southeast Missouri State. They're 1 for 2 on third down today. 2 wideouts go to the left. Peter Lloyd goes wide to the right. Colden's in the backfield. They've got a tight end at the right end of the line, but they haven't caught a tight end catch a pass all year. Here's Lathrop on 3rd and 7. Shotgun snap. Back to pass. Throwing to the left. Incomplete. Not sure if it was intended for Davis or McRoberts, but nowhere near either one of them. They left the tight end in the block on that play.
Thought that ball was intended for Spencer Davis, but Lathrop really just threw it into the ground. A very poor throw.
4th down and 7. Red Hawk punt team is back out. Eastern sends again Shepard Little and Laura Deep, and this time they line up alongside each other as twin safeties. Alex Knight in to punt for the second time for the Redhawks. Had a 39-yarder his first time, and it was a rugby kick angled away from the return guys. Waist-high snap. Again, rugby kick to the left. Low liner down the left side of the field. Into a crowd, and it hit an Eastern player. I hope not. SEMO falls on the ball, but no indication from the officials. And it will be Panther ball at the 18-yard line. Eastern did not get away from that bouncing ball nearly as well as they did the first time.
No, and you would think that they would expect that to be coming, but kind of a dangerous play that time for the Panthers. Fortunately, it didn't hit anybody, so it's Eastern's ball.
We've got a timeout on the field. We'll take a break with 9.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Eastern Illinois leads Southeast Missouri State 7-0 on the Panther Football Network.
Eastern Illinois Panther Sports on WEIU are brought to you in part by
At Carl, we dedicate ourselves to helping you be great. And we have the expertise and inspiration to help you stay that way.
Additional funding provided by viewers like you. Thank you.
Out of the shotgun, Garoppolo rolling out to his right. Pump fake, sets up, looking, throwing the bomb. Going for Gober, back of the end zone. Touchdown, Eastern Illinois.
Eastern Illinois Panther football is on WEIU. The high-flying EIU Panthers, led by quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, continue their run at back-to-back OVC championships as they welcome OVC rival Tennessee Tech to O'Brien Field. It's the Panthers and Golden Eagles Saturday, November 2nd at 12. WEIU is your home for Panther football.
Coming up at halftime, we'll bring you an interview with Eastern Illinois men's basketball coach Jay Spoonhour. Panther basketball opens the season. You ready for this?
I'm ready for it.
I think it's 3 weeks from today.
November 9th.
Yep, that's right. 3 weeks at Northwestern. Chris Collins' first game as the coach at Northwestern.
Yeah, a lot of times early season basketball games don't get a lot of attention, but because of that, this one will.
1st and 10, Panthers at the 18. Garoppolo back, a lot of time, throwing it deep. Got Drake out there, got it, 40, 30. Adam Drake going all the way. Touchdown, Eastern Illinois. 82-yard touchdown pass. Garoppolo to Drake.
What is that, 4 plays? 13 points on the board for the Panthers. It's hard to be more efficient than that.
It's just sometimes defies words how easy it seems that they can score.
Drake was wide open, and Garoppolo with a beautiful throw there just laid it right in over his shoulder.
Eastern has 149 yards of total offense on the first 4 plays. Cam Barra for the point after at the north end of the stadium. There's the snap, placed down, kick is up. Kick is good. We'll take another break with 9:14 to go in the first quarter. Eastern Illinois leads Southeast Missouri State 14-0 on the Panther Football Network.
Eastern Illinois Panther Sports on WEIU are brought to you in part by Johnson's Automotive Service is a proud supporter of Panther Sports on WEIU. Johnson's is a complete car facility for all your automotive repair and maintenance needs. Johnson's Automotive Service, keeping your life running. Additional funding provided by viewers like you. Thank you.
Local radio, local news, local information.
Local sports.
Up-to-date weather twice an hour. The EIU Morning Mix with Rob Calhoun and friends.
We play your requests. The safe station for your kids and the workplace.
Live EIU Panther Sports.
On your 13 TV in the morning.
On WEIU TV Digital 51.6 all the time.
Streaming at WEIU.net.
Everything a radio station can be, we are.
This is Civics 88.9 WEIU.
If you were late getting to your seat, you've missed a lot. It's 14-0 Eastern Illinois. Another squib kick. Fumbled by Simo. They pick it up at the 25. Spencer Davis with it. Dodged a man, gets across the 30, and is brought down at the 33-yard line. So squib kick again. Mishandled at first by Southeast Missouri State. Picked up by Davis, the main return man, right back up about 8 yards. Pete Houlihan brought him down.
Grover Garrett, who normally lines up at middle linebacker for the Red Hawks defense, was the first player to get his hands on the football, and as you said, he mishandled it, but fortunately for the Red Hawks, Davis was there to scoop it up.
If you need to know how long it takes Adam Drake to run 82 yards, the answer is 11 seconds, because that was the length of that scoring drive by Eastern. One play, 11 seconds, 82-yard touchdown drive. 14-0 Eastern. Simo sets up shop at their 33. Out of the pistol, Lathrop takes the snap, hands it left side around the corner to Michael Jackson at the 35. Brought down around the 38. 5-yard pickup. LaQuince McCall, the Baylor transfer from San Antonio, Texas, outside linebacker on the tackle.
Obviously, there's a long way to go in this football game, Mike, but the Red Hawks are a team that like to run it, and if the Panthers could tack on another score here, they might have to abandon their game plan to try to get back into the game.
They've led the OVC in rushing 3 years in a row, but this year they're 7th in the league in rushing. 2nd down 5 for the Red Hawks at their 38. They bring the wideouts now wide to the right, McRoberts and also Peter Lloyd. They've got 2 tight ends in the game, and they've got 1 running back, and that's to Michael Jackson. And they're taking a lot of time looking to the far side. Play clock, though, is not running. Now they finally are setting the play clock in motion. There was some sort of snafu there with that, so Simo's got a lot of time. And we're down to 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. The time of possession is going to be way in Simo's favor here. 2nd down 5, out of the shotgun. Lathrop Hands it left side. Jackson finds a hole 40, cuts back 45, 50. Watch out. Angles right 40. Blocker in front 35, 30. Jackson 25 coming to the right at the 20. Grabbed there by McNulty and finally stopped at the 18-yard line. Nice cutback by DeMichael Jackson near the line, and then he used his downfield blocking to get down there.
Paul Roberts was the one player out in front of him, and Jackson did a great job of just weaving back and forth behind McRoberts, preventing the Panthers from getting a shot at him, and very nice run there by Jackson.
44-yard gain for Jackson, a sophomore from Louisville, Kentucky. He had a 64-yard run last week against Murray State. So the Redhawks very quickly now into the red zone. First down, 10 to go at the Eastern Illinois 18-yard line. Two wideouts go to the left. Out of the shotgun, Lathrop will hand it to Jackson heading to the right. Pulled down by McNulty. About a 2 or 3 yard gain to about the 17. So Jackson with his second straight carry got a couple. This is where the Eastern defense has been at its best, in the red zone this year. The opponents have been there 29 times. This is the 30th, and they've only got 13 touchdowns in those 29 tries before today. Eastern's offense has actually been to the red zone fewer times than the opponents have this year, and Eastern's offense has scored 21 touchdowns in 28 trips to the red zone. Haven't been there yet today. They've just run through it on their way to the end zone. Second down, 7 from the 16 for Southeast Missouri State. There's the snap. Lathrop, quarterback draw up the middle, hit at the 15 and stopped. Off the corner, making the tackle, looks like Fedney Delphons, defensive end from Naples, Florida, sophomore. So about a 1 or 2 yard pickup to the 15. It's third down. Let's call it 7 to go for Southeast Missouri State. They keep getting in these third and longer situations. Two wideouts go to the left. That's Davis and also Rick Roberts. Two tight ends in the game, one at each end of the line. Neither one of them has caught a pass this year. Panthers looking like they want to blitz. They've got 7 men right at the line on 3rd and 7. Here's Lathrop. They do blitz. He rolls left, sets up, hit as he throws into the end zone. Touchdown. Spencer Davis caught it as Lathrop stood his ground, took the hit, and hit Davis for the touchdown.
Very impressive throw by Lathrop there. He knew he was going to get leveled as soon as he released that ball, but he delivered it right on the button there to Spencer Davis.
Davis, a junior from Florissant, Missouri, with his 3rd touchdown this year. And now Southeast Missouri State on the board, and they'll try to cut the lead in half on this extra point attempt. They've had 2 freshman kickers kind of go back and forth. This is Alex Knight. His kick is up, and his kick is not good, and that is not an unusual occurrence for SEMO. They are now on the year with that miss. They are 9 out of 15 on extra points, only 60% accuracy on their extra points. We're going to hold it here with 5:53 to go in the first quarter, make it 6:53, and the score 14-6 in favor of Eastern Illinois.
Just a beautiful throw that time by Lathrop. As we mentioned, he hung in there and took his punishment and got the ball to Davis, who was open in the corner of the end zone.
Well, this gives us a chance to tell you about this date in Eastern football history. It takes us back 28 years, October the 19th of 1985. Jeff Mills and Bob Bronaugh stopped a 2-point conversion attempt with 1:09 remaining, and Eastern beat 15th-ranked Southwest Missouri State 28-27 at O'Brien Field. The Panthers had taken the lead early in the 4th quarter on a touchdown pass from Sean Payton to Roy Banks. Payton passed for 383 yards in the game. Banks had 7 catches for 119 yards in the Panthers' win over Southwest Missouri State, October 19th of 1985. Jimmy Garoppolo is about to knock Sean Payton out of the Eastern record book. I think his name's only in one spot right now, and it's about to disappear as Jimmy needs only 43 more yards passing to break Payton's career passing record. Garoppolo has already today broken the OVC record for maybe just short on that. Yeah, he's just a little short on that. He still has a little ways to go on that OVC total offense record.
And in this ball game, he is 3 out of 3 throwing the ball, 147 yards and 2 touchdowns. I would suggest that would be a very high quarterback rating.
Yeah, that's efficiency, right?
Yeah.
All right, kicking off for Southeast Missouri State will be Ryan McCrum, a redshirt freshman from St. Charles, Missouri. Eastern has got Elvin Walker deep along with Shepard Little, and make this Trey Pendergrass takes it at the 18 to the 20, up the middle 30, 35, tripped up at the 37. Trey Pendergrass, who had a nice return last week, a 76-yarder, brought that one up the right sideline. Zach Levy on the tackle for Southeast Missouri State.
Levy made a nice play there because Pendergrass had a lot of room to run had Levy fanned on that tackle.
So spot the ball at the 36. Eastern will start there. The Panther offense has been just dynamite in their first two possessions. 147 yards passing and 2 yards rushing. Balance has been an issue apparently with the offense. Wide to the right, Keandre Gober. Shepard Little goes wide to the right. Adam Drake, Jeff Lepak, Eric Laura wide to the left on first down. Back to pass, Garoppolo. A lot of time, throws over the middle. Caught by Laura at the 50, 45. Dodged a couple men, brought down at the SEMO 45. Nice touch pass by Garoppolo over the linebackers in front of the secondary. Ben Cartbo on the tackle.
I thought that ball initially was intended for Gober, but was overthrown. But good touch, as you said, by Garoppolo.
1st and 10. Garoppolo guns to the right. Caught by Gober there at the 38. Wrestled down at the SEMO 37. A pickup of about 8 yards on the throw to sophomore Keandre Gober. Cantrell Andrews on the tackle. 2nd down, 2 yards to go for Eastern. 6:22 to go first quarter. Panthers lead Southeast Missouri State 14-6. Gober and Laura to the right. Lepak and Drake to the left. Here's a fake handoff. Garoppolo hits Laura, 35, right side 30, got a first down. Swing him down at the 26. Stop for Southeast Missouri State, made by Whistler Imonis, a junior from Auburndale, Florida.
Garoppolo looked left, got the defensive flow heading in that direction, and then whipped it back to the right to Garoppolo.
1st down, 10, handoff Little, big hole up the middle, dodged a man, gets across the 20 and down to the 19. Little started left and then cut back to the right, a gain of about 6 for the sophomore from Schaumburg. 2nd down, 4 to go, Eastern at the 19 of SEMO. Out of the pistol, another handoff, but they blow the play dead. Let's see here. That almost always is a false start. I don't see a flag, though. Did they just blow it dead because the ball wasn't ready for play, perhaps? Our referee is...
Well,
let play continue. I think it's Steve Hazel, our referee.
SEMO used that opportunity to get a couple of subs in the game.
2nd down and 3 still at the 19. Fake handoff. Now they give it to Little up the middle. 20, 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Shepard Little on a draw play where Garoppolo Jack literally handed it to him, took it back, and then handed it to him again.
We've seen that run previously this season by the Panthers. It's a very unusual play. I don't think I've ever seen it before, but certainly it was successful that time as Little took it to the house.
Shepard Little, the sophomore from Schaumburg, scores his 4th touchdown this year, a 19-yard run through the middle to make it 20-6 Eastern Illinois, and now Cameron Barra will go for the point after. A low snap, set down by the holder Weatherford, though. Kick is up, and it's good. Barra 3 for 3 in the early going. Maybe we'll have a good look at that work in the backfield there.
Yeah, he just handed him the ball, as you said, took it away, and then gave it to him again. And obviously, the defense thought it was going to be a fake handoff, and the Red Sea parted, if you will, and Little had no trouble getting to the end zone.
The Red Hawk Sea parted, huh?
Yeah.
With the pass, though, before that, Garoppolo did go ahead of Casey Brockman of Murray State, and Garoppolo sets a new OVC career record for total offense. That's combined rushing and passing yards. Garoppolo now 10,530 yards passing, breaking the OVC career total offense record, and Jimmy is getting very close to getting into the top 25 all-time in FCS history in total offense.
And what's really ridiculous about all this is that, as you mentioned, we are just into the second half of the season. He's got several games to go yet, and hopefully a nice little playoff run to boot.
His next pass completion will most likely break Sean Payton's Eastern record for career passing yards. He needs 4 yards to break that record. All right, Panthers will kick off for the 3rd time already, and they didn't win the toss, or they did not. Well, I guess they did kick off to start the game, so this is actually the 4th kickoff. Ball blows off the tee. The deep men for Southeast Missouri have not really been targets on these kickoffs yet. Lewis Washington on the far hash mark, Spencer Davis on the near one. Davis is a threat back there. He is 2nd in the OVC this year, and all time he's number 2 in career kickoff return yardage for Southeast Missouri State. He needs only 130 yards today to set the SEMO record for career kickoff returns. And, you know, Jack, if you're in the kickoff return business, Eastern Illinois is your team, okay? You're going to get chances if the Panthers ever kick it deep. That's the downside, I guess, to that.
That's the caveat right there, because the Panthers oftentimes don't attempt to keep it deep. Wind blew off the tee again, so it's going to have to be held this time.
All right, Kerr will kick now with the wind. How about this? Eastern has run 9 offensive plays. SEMO's kickoff return team is on the field for the 4th time already. Here's the kick, and this one's deep to the near side. Davis backs up on it, over the shoulder catch at the 3. He's going to bring it back to the 5, to the 10. He's heading left, now cuts back 15, finds a hole, angles back out 20, and run out of bounds around the 23 by Pete Houlihan. So a long, winding return for Davis, and there the Panthers, Jack, kicked it to the kickoff return team's right. They obviously had a left return set up, and that played in the Panthers' favor.
It did, and the Panthers did a nice job of maintaining their lanes that time on kick coverage, because Davis really had no opportunity to cut that up. He took it as far as to the sideline as he could, but he ended up with a relatively short return.
21-6, Eastern Illinois got the lead. Redhawks with their worst starting position of the day. Their 24-yard line. They hand it off to Lewis Washington into the middle at the 25. They grab him around the waist, bring him down maybe the 26. John Boitilla on the tackle for Eastern. He grabbed him in kind of a bear hug around the waist from behind him, slung him back. Boitilla, a senior defensive tackle out of St. Charles, Illinois. Spot the ball on the 26, so give Washington a 2-yard gain. 2nd down, 8 to go, Southeast Missouri State. We owe you a station break. We'll try to get that in here and maybe after the next play. McRoberts wide to the left, Davis wide to the right for the Redhawks. 2 running backs, actually a running back and a tight end in the backfield. Again, taking a lot of time to look over to the sideline on 2nd down, 8 to go from their 26. Play clock at 5 as Lathrop gets them lined up to snap it. Shotgun snap. Lathrop looks to throw to the left, caught by McRoberts, and he's out of bounds, short of the 1st down at the 31. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Panther Football Network. Third down, 3 to go. Southeast Missouri State at their 31. 2 wideouts go to the right. Washington in the backfield for Southeast Missouri State. 4:25 to go first quarter. 21-6 in favor of Eastern Illinois. Here's the snap. Lathrop running right on the option. Now in trouble and sacked back there. It won't be a sack because he wasn't trying to pass, but it'll be a loss of about 3. Robert Haynes on that tackle for EIU, and also Antonio Taylor and Dino Fonte back there as well.
That's the 2nd time that the Redhawks have tried to run that option to the right side, and both times the Panthers have defended it extremely well. That time a nice loss on the play for Eastern's defense, and once again the offense for Eastern's going to have the ball back following this punt.
We'll watch this punt now. The 2 times Southeast Missouri has punted, it has come close to hitting an Eastern player downfield on these rugby punts. One time Eastern did a pretty good job of getting out of the way. The 2nd time they didn't, and they were lucky. Back to punt on 4th down is Alex Knight. Waist high snap, rugby roll to the left, kicks away, far sideline, and it's going to go across the 35, take a SEMO bounce out of bounds just inside the 30. Spot the ball at the 29. That's a good punt by Knight, angling to the far sideline, 43 yards. He really had just the right angle on that kick.
That kick had a spiral to it. The other 2 had been primarily end over end. And as you said, the Panthers a little fortunate not to be hit by the bounding football. That was a different kind of punt that went out of bounds. So Eastern with not great field position, but doesn't really much matter with this group. They're in scoring position anytime they snap the ball.
Taylor Duncan, a running back. 1st and 10 Panthers at their 29. Garoppolo needs 4 yards passing to break Sean Payton's record. He'll go for it now. Back to pass, looking deep, throwing the bomb. Drake's out there. He's got it. 35, out of bounds, 30-yard line. And Jimmy Garoppolo has just become the all-time passing leader at Eastern Illinois, surpassing Sean Payton with that long one. Matt Starks on the tackle for SEMO.
Well, once again, Adam Drake managed to get himself wide open. Crowd applauds as the PA announcer makes the announcement of that record-breaking pass.
1st down handoff, Duncan through the middle across the 25, pulled down at the 24-yard line on a gain of 6 by Taylor Duncan, the junior running back from Marshall. And now the next record watch is Duncan getting close to 1,000 yards. Second down, handoff. Duncan up the middle, across the 20, close to a first down. We'll check the spot as they stand him up and stop him at about the 19-yard line. 5 for Duncan, and that's a first down for Eastern Illinois. Duncan needs 9 to go over 1,000 in his career. First and 10 Eastern at the 19 of Southeast Missouri State. There's the shotgun snap, but again, they blow the play dead. This time there is a penalty flag on the play. Our referee is Scott Hazel. I should say Steve Hazel, I'm sorry. He's from just outside of Louisville, Kentucky. Here comes his call.
False start. Offense, number 48. 5 yards, first down.
Ryan Meyer, Eastern's tight end, got called for that false start to make it first down, 15 to go.
On that most recent long pass to Drake, had that ball been not thrown a little bit towards the sideline, Drake would have been able to take that for a touchdown, but after making the adjustment to make the reception, his momentum sort of carried him out of bounds.
First and 15, Eastern. Shotgun snap, fake handoff. Garoppolo looking, gunning to the left, too tall, incomplete. Intended for Drake, running a little skinny post. Late penalty flag. Thrown behind the line of scrimmage. Pretty decent coverage there by Southeast Missouri State. On the coverage for the Redhawks was Reggie Jennings.
That was the first incompletion for Garoppolo in the ballgame.
Ineligible man downfield is the call against Eastern. If SEMO accepts the penalty, it'll wipe out the incomplete pass.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense, number 72. 5 yards, first down.
So he still hasn't thrown an incompletion. Getting the called on the play for Eastern was the right guard, Alex Pierce. Put the ball back on the SEMO 29. Back-to-back 5-yard penalties makes it first and 20. Here's Garoppolo looking to pass. A little pressure, screen pass off to Duncan at the 30, and not much room. He gets to about the 25. Only about a 4-yard, make it a 3-yard pickup for Duncan. Roper Garrett, the middle linebacker from Farmington, Missouri, on the tackle. So Duncan got 3. Second down, 17 to go for Eastern at the 26 of SEMO. We're down to 3:20 to go first quarter. Panthers have a 21-6 lead. Out of the shotgun, empty backfield. Garoppolo back, a lot of time. He's going to gun the middle. Caught by Gober at the 14 and brought down there, a little short of the first down. Roper Garrett again on the tackle. And that second catch of the day for Gober. It'll be third down, 5 to go. Wide to the right, Gober. Wide to the left, Drake and Laura. Duncan in the backfield on 3rd and 5. Movement before the snap. SEMO's offsides. Garoppolo throws over the middle. Intercepted at the 5, but it won't count. There's an offsides penalty to the 30, to the 35. Terrence Hill on the interception runs it back out near the 40, but it's coming back because the Redhawks were offsides.
And that's something Garoppolo was aware of. Otherwise, he wouldn't have attempted to drill the ball in to a receiver that was obviously quite well covered.
They're coming back. That interception, which would have been the 5th of the year, will be wiped out. Here comes the call.
Offsides, defense, number 94. 5 yards, third down.
A little short of the first down then, around the 10-yard line. It'll be third down and about 1. SEMO had 2 guys, actually, who jumped, and they called the defensive end Travis Sanders for the penalty. Third down, 1 to go for the Panthers, who are 1 for 1 on third down today and 49% for the year.
Eastern with all sorts of options here, and of course they're in 4-down territory.
Garoppolo's going to go to the gun, has Duncan alongside in the backfield on 3rd and 1, and they hand it to Duncan. First down up the middle at the 5, touchdown, Taylor Duncan, and that will put him over 1,000 yards. And he goes in for the touchdown on the same play.
Well, that's a fitting way to go over the 1,000-yard mark, scoring a touchdown as the Panthers increase their lead now to 27-6, and right now the Redhawks have to be reeling a little bit as Eastern has come out and scored on 4 straight possessions.
25th player in Eastern history to go over 1,000 yards rushing. Taylor Duncan, the junior from Marshall, Illinois. 4 possessions, 4 touchdowns for Eastern Illinois. And now Cameron Barra with the kick, and it's partially blocked, but it is not good. They got a piece of it. So Cameron had made the first 3, but again, somebody got a hand on that one and blocked it. So the extra point is no good, and the score 27-6. Cameron on third down and short, up the middle. Taylor Duncan over 1,000 now in his career. Pretty simple, Jack. On 3rd and 1, you would think there would be a little more of a focus on the run defense.
Yeah, and I guess the passing exploits of Garoppolo so far in this ball game had Semo just expecting a pass there, because certainly there was nothing fancy about that, just a run between the tackles actually, and nobody really got a hand on Duncan as he got into the end zone and went over 1,000 yards in his career in the process.
These numbers are just staggering. Eastern has got in the first quarter with 1:40 to go. They've got 290 yards of total offense. That's nearly a 1,200-yard clip that they're on right now. Garoppolo has thrown for 2 touchdowns, and each of the running backs, Duncan and Little, has run for a touchdown. Panthers have had the ball 4 times and had scoring drives of 67, 82, 64, and 71.
You watch the Panthers play offense, and it's like playing Madden. I mean, the way they go up and down the field with virtually no problem at all.
Washington and Davis are deep for Southeast Missouri State. Taylor Kerr to kick. Right to left. Here's the run up and the kick. Hits it deep. Davis backpedals hard. It goes over his head into the end zone for a touchback. So we've seen a squib, we've seen a sky kick, and now we've seen Kerr with a touchback, all in the first quarter of this game. EIU cross country running today in the pre-national invitational meet in Terre Haute. The Panther men's team finished 8th in that meet. The women's team got 23rd place today. EIU rugby team at Kentucky today. Volleyball will be at home tonight against Murray State at 6 o'clock at Lance Arena. Volleyball team had a big 3-2 come from behind win over OVC Western Division leader Austin Peay last night. And Panther women's soccer in first place in the OVC after beating Jacksonville State 2-1 yesterday. 1st and 10 Redhawks at the 25. A snap and a handoff to Jackson, coming to the right. Grabbed by McCall, and swings him around and brings him down at the 22. Jersey tackle by senior LaQuince McCall from outside linebacker.
McCall grasped onto that jersey and just would not let go. You remember back in the day where they had tearaway jerseys? Well, if they had them today, that would have not resulted in a tackle for a loss. But McCall just did a nice job of refusing to let that back squirm away.
A 3-yard loss makes it 2nd down and 13 for Southeast Missouri State. They've got McRoberts to the left along with Peter Lloyd. Haven't seen their leading receiver, DJ Foster, in the game yet. 2nd down, 13. Jackson's in the backfield. Lathrop in the gun. We're going to have to check the time of possession, Jack, at the end of the quarter. Shotgun snap, fake handoff. Lathrop rolling out to the left, throws the pass in the flat. It's caught by Lloyd, and he gets up the sideline to about the 29. Pickup of about 7. Nick Beard on the tackle for Eastern Illinois.
How about the first quarter for Jimmy Garoppolo? 9 out of 9 passing, 242 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
He's had an incompletion and an interception that both got wiped out by penalties.
Maybe you know it's your day when something like that happens. Although
go say what you're going to say.
Well, I was just going to say the interception wouldn't have occurred had it not been a free play.
3rd down and 7 for Southeast Missouri State. Make it 6 at their 29. Redhawks today 2 out of 5 on 3rd down. They've got Lloyd to the left, Davis to the right, McRoberts in the slot on the right. Lathrop in the shotgun. Panthers looking like they may blitz. 8 guys on the line. And a timeout taken by Southeast Missouri State. We'll hold it here with 12 seconds left to go in the first quarter.
Timeout. Southeast Missouri. They're first.
Tickets are now on sale for the 32nd annual Eastern Illinois Athletic Hall of Fame banquet coming up 2 weeks from today, Saturday, November the 2nd. That'll be at 5 o'clock that evening in the Eastern Union following the Panther football game against Tennessee Tech, which starts at noon. Banquet tickets are $20 a person. You can get those by calling the Assistant Athletic Director, Dave Kidwell, 217-581-2824, or you can email Dave, dakidwell@eiu.edu. This year's Eastern Hall of Fame class includes football wide receiver Scott McGee, basketball player Charlie Thomas, golfer Gary Burrows, former women's basketball coach Bobby Hilke, and friend of athletics Jack Payan. That'll be your next chance to watch Eastern on WEIU TV. 2 weeks from today, Tennessee Tech will be here Saturday, November the 2nd. Early start time, 12 noon that day. Panthers have a big road game next week at Tennessee State at 4 o'clock in Nashville, and right now that is shaping up as maybe the game of the year in the OVC. Tennessee State going into this week has the #1 defense in the country. Eastern's got the #1 offense, and Tennessee State's got a 23-0 lead right now over Tennessee Martin in the second quarter, so they're playing well today too. Okay, 3rd down and 7 from their 28 for Southeast Missouri State. EIU looking like they may blitz. There's the snap. They only rush 4. Lathrop back to pass, steps up, as surrounded, gets away for now spins back to his right, still rolling around, and finally going to be sacked on the 23-yard line as the first quarter comes to an end. Finally tracking him down was the middle linebacker, Alex Helms, out of Naperville.
Well, Lathrop did a nice job of being elusive, but it got him absolutely nowhere. Just a loss on the play, and as you said, that is the final play of the quarter.
We're going to take a break at the end of the first quarter. It's Eastern Illinois 27, Southeast Missouri State 6 on the Panther Football Network.
Eastern Illinois Panther Sports on WEIU are brought to you in part by
Arby's Restaurant, locally owned with locations in Charleston and Mattoon, offering roast beef, curly fries, roast burgers, market fresh salads, and milkshakes. Arby's proudly supports the broadcast of Panther Sports on WEIU.
additional funding provided by viewers like you. Thank you.
We go to the second quarter. Eastern Illinois is ahead of Southeast Missouri State 27-6. Redhawks will have to punt the ball. They should pick up a little wind at their back here, I think. It's mainly a crosswind today, but now they're punting from the south to the north, and I think there is the wind angling out of the south a little bit. The punter is Alex Knight. He's had 3 kicks for a 39-yard average so far. Eric Laura and Shepard Little are deep for the Panthers. 4th down and about 12 to go, Redhawks from their 23. There's a waist-high snap, roll to the left. Left-handed or left-footed kick is away. Bouncing past Laura, picked up by Little at the 40. 45-50 up the middle, 45 angles left 40. Spun around there, and down he goes around the 40-yard line. Good tackle for Southeast Missouri State. Getting Little in the open field was Roper Garrett.
Little almost spun out of that, and he'd have had some more running room had he been able to maintain his balance. Lost about 2 yards after that hit as he did stay on his feet for that length of time.
But still a 17-yard punt return for Little sets Eastern up in great position. Panther offense sets up shop with their best field position of the day. And what's this formation? They've got Garoppolo under center and 4 backs and ends bunched off on his left, and now they break out of the bunch and end up with 4 wideouts to the left and 1 to the right. Garoppolo back, fires it out on the left to Laura at the 45, to the 40, down the sideline 35, breaks through at the 32. First down for Laura, 11 or 12 yards on that pickup.
Well, just a little screen to the left side. Laura with blockers out in front picks up another first down as Garoppolo remains perfect throwing the football in this ballgame.
Andy McNeil on the tackle for Semo. First down, handoff Little, angles right 30, 25 into the secondary at the 20, hit hard, falls forward to the 18. He's got another first down. Shepard Little with another double-digit carry, 13 yards for Little.
Semo's defense really back on its heels right now. They don't know whether it's going to come on via the ground or via the air.
Fake handoff, Garoppolo, look, shoulder shrug, looking deep left, now rolling right. Now he's going to fire to the right sideline, incomplete for Laura coming back for the ball. Primary receiver was on the left, that was covered, so Garoppolo came back to the right, and Laura tried to come back and help him out, and that's Jimmy's first incomplete pass of the game.
Earlier in that play, that sequence, Laura was open at about the 5-yard line, but by the time Garoppolo was able to see him, he was much more covered.
2nd and 10, handoff through the middle. Little gets across the 15 and tripped up around the 13. 6 yards on the run through the middle for Shepard Little. And it'll be 3rd down and about 4 to go. Tackle for Semo made by defensive end Lawrence Hills. A lot of backups on defense right now for Semo. Panthers sub Andre Hodge into the game, of tight end or fullback, taking out Adam Drake. 3rd down, call it 4 to go for Eastern at the 13 of Southeast Missouri State. Out of the shotgun, Garoppolo tried to get him off sides with a hard count. That didn't work, and now he looks over to the near sideline. He's got Gober to the right, Laura's in the slot, Hodge a tight slot on the right. 3rd down, 4 to go. Panthers taking as much time as they have all day. There's the snap and the handoff. Little up the middle, dives forward across the 10. I think he's a little short of the first down, though, inside the 10, around the 9.
So it'll be an interesting decision here. I would imagine the Panthers probably will go for it on 4th down. It's going to be 4th and a yard to go, and so far, no indication that the field goal team's coming in.
Whistler Imones on the tackle for SEMO. Eastern on the year, 7 out of 13 on 4th down. They're going to go for it. 4th down and a half yard to go. They're in the gun. Fake handoff, quick pass, caught by Laura at the 10. Gets the first down to the 5. When Laura caught it, he was behind the marker. He had to make a quick break up the field. Alex Schwab tripped him up by the ankle. First down, goal to go Eastern at the 5 of Southeast Missouri State. Panthers with Garoppolo under center now. Little, the only running back. First and goal. 2 wideouts go to the right. Garoppolo hands it straight ahead to Little, right down the middle, and dives for the goal line. Touchdown, Eastern Illinois. Second touchdown today for Shepard Little on a 5-yard run right up the gut. 33-6.
5 possessions for the Panthers, 5 touchdowns. You can't be any more efficient than that. And Southeast Missouri has to be wondering, what in the world have we gotten ourselves into this afternoon?
It's 33-6 in favor of Eastern Illinois, and we've got just 2 minutes elapsed in the second quarter. Cameron Barra, who had his last point after blocked, after making the first 3, now lining up at the south end of the stadium to kick for the first time. There's the snap. Kick is up, and the kick is good. We'll take a break with 13:02 to go in the first half, and the score, Eastern Illinois 34, Southeast Missouri State 6 on the Panther Football Network.
Eastern Illinois Panther Sports on WEIU are brought to you in part by
Porter Auto Body of Charleston and Mattoon offers auto body repairs for cars, trucks, and vans. Porter uses environmentally friendly PPG waterborne paints. Porter Auto Body, serving the area for over 25 years.
additional funding provided by viewers like you. Thank you. WEIU, your home for Eastern Illinois Panther Sports, presents Panther Sports Talk. Highlights, player features, and coaches interviews with host Rich Moser. All things you need to know EIU sports on Panther Sports Talk.
Wednesday at 6 on WEIU.
Eastern's most methodical drive of the day there was 43 yards in 7 plays and used a minute and 46 seconds. The other drives have been a minute 43, a minute 14, 11 seconds, and 39 seconds for the Panthers today.
One of the things about the Panthers, when you give them a short field like they had after that nice punt return, it even becomes more difficult because once they're in 4-down territory, you got to stop them on 4 downs, and it's difficult enough stopping them on 1 or 2.
What was the time of possession, Jack, in the first quarter?
The time of possession in the first quarter was 11 minutes and 30 seconds for SEMO, 5 minutes and 28 seconds for EIU.
There was that last touchdown by Shepard Little, so SEMO had almost a 2-to-1 edge in time of possession, and Eastern had a 27-6 lead at the end of the quarter.
Time of possession doesn't mean what it used to.
Taylor Kerr will kick off. Deep for Southeast Missouri State, Spencer Davis and Lewis Washington. Kerr's last kick was a touchback. Here's his approach, his 6th kickoff of the game, and it's a squib, bouncing across the 35 to the 30, and SEMO just falls on the ball at the 29-yard line. I think if you're Eastern, you'll take that anytime, Jack, if they'll let you do that.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that those upbacks don't pick it up and try to return it and make Eastern pay for that kind of kickoff. But so far, SEMO hasn't shown any inclination to do that.
I guess I'm surprised you don't put a potential return guy in that blocking unit up there, knowing that Eastern more than half of the time this year has approached it that way. All right, Lathrop is up under center, our traditional I-formation backfield. Coleman at fullback, looks like Jackson at tailback on 1st and 10 at the 29, and looks like a busted play. Lathrop lost his balance, might have tripped over his own man and went down for no gain. He was lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
I think Lathrop did get tangled up with one of his linemen as he started to roll, or as he started to pull back from center, and There was no gain on the play, just a wasted play for the Redhawks.
Second down 10 for Southeast Missouri State. They've been outgained 333 to 84 so far. They're down on the scoreboard 34-6 early in the second quarter. Second and 10 at the 29 for Southeast Missouri State. There's a delayed handoff up the middle. Jackson cuts back across the 30 to the 35. Tackled at the 36. Adam Gristick made the tackles. Junior linebacker from Allentown, Pennsylvania. The leading rusher for Southeast Missouri State is the quarterback, Lathrop. But right behind him is DeMichael Jackson. But Jackson's averaging less than 50 yards a game.
Lathrop held a -2 yards rushing here in the first half.
Third down and 3. Southeast Missouri State at their 37. Out of the shotgun. Draw play up the middle. Jackson hit behind the line. He's brought down well short of the first down. Adam Gristick was there. Robert Haynes was there to bring him down. Haynes, the second leading tackler on the Panther team at 6.5 a game, despite the fact he didn't play that much last game and only had 1 tackle at Austin Peay.
Jackson thought he had a little running room there as he cut it back to the left, and he just got swallowed up as he was brought down for a bit of a loss back at the 35.
So Southeast Missouri State will punt, or at least line up to punt with Alex Knight. Little and Laura go deep for Eastern. Panthers finally got a return on the last one after having to let the first several punts bounce. There's the snap back to Knight. Little pressure up the middle. Line drive kick to the far side. Bounces across the 30 to the 25. And will roll dead at the Eastern 21-yard line. 44-yard punt for Knight. No return for the Panthers with 11:06 left to go in the first half. And the Eastern offense will come out with this their worst field position of the day so far. I check it, second worst, because last time they did start one at the 18. 34-6, Eastern Illinois on the lead. Dominant performance so far for the Panthers. They've got Gober and Laura wide to the right. Jason Schumann lines up at tight end on the left. Handoff up the middle. Duncan, huge hole across the 25 into the secondary. Bowls over a man at the 30 and gets a first down to the 32 as Duncan finished that off with a strong play.
Well, we mentioned at the start how strong Duncan is running between the tackles, and here he just lowers the shoulder and flattens Ben Cargo, the free safety on the play.
Wide receiver screen on 1st and 10 to Gober, spinning along the right side, and he gets up to the 35 for a pickup of about 3 yards. So Gober from the pass from Garoppolo to the 35. It'll be 2nd and 7. Matt Starks on the tackle. Panthers sub Adam Drake into the game, take out Gober. So Drake and Laura go wide to the left. 2nd and 7 at the 35. Hodge at fullback in the eye in front of Duncan. Handoff up the middle. Duncan, 35, cuts back, lowers his shoulder again, gets to the 39. He's pushed back there. Eastern now kind of playing some power football in this possession.
Duncan really doesn't run like a former quarterback, does he?
6'3", 224.
He seeks the contact out.
3rd down and 4 for Eastern. They're 2 for 3 on 3rd down today. Drake and Laura to the left. Out of the eye on 3rd and 4. Handoff straight ahead. Duncan tripped up behind the line. Got back for no gain on the play. But I think it was one of the defensive linemen who got into the backfield with some penetration. John Slania, the nose tackle, who got Duncan by the ankle and tripped him up right after he took the handoff. And Taylor could only get back to the line.
And for the first time this afternoon, the Panthers are going to have to punt after 5 successive possessions that resulted in touchdowns.
It's 4th and 3 at the 39. They bring in Scott Weatherford, who is 9th in the OVC in punting at 36.9. Spencer Davis is deep. Eastern spreads return guys, cover guys, I should say, all over the field here. And now we've got a flag thrown and a penalty coming up against EIU. It looks like Camus Gruget-Hill lined up across the line of scrimmage and tried to jump back at the last moment, and that'll be illegal procedure on the Panthers. Big crowd on hand here today, as expected at O'Brien Field. This penalty may be on Simo.
Timeout. Southeast Missouri State.
Okay,
Their second.
No penalty at all, just a timeout on the Redhawks. So we will take a break, I guess. 9:20 to go in the first half. It's 34-6, Eastern Illinois. We'll be back in a minute on the Panther Football Network.
Eastern Illinois Panther Sports on WEIU are brought to you in part by
Brainerd Law Office, serving the surrounding 10 counties with over 70 years of experience, specializing in litigation, probate and estate planning, family law, real estate transactions and development, landlord rights, commercial transactions, and risk management. The Brainerd Law Office, located in Charleston next to the courthouse.
Additional funding provided by viewers like you. Thank you.
Out of the shotgun, Garoppolo rolling out to his right. Pump fake, sets up, looking, throwing the bomb. Going for Gober, back of the end zone. Touchdown, Eastern Illinois!
Eastern Illinois Panther football is on WEIU. The high-flying EIU Panthers, led by quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, continue their run at back-to-back OVC championships as they welcome OVC rival Tennessee Tech to O'Brien Field. It's the Panthers and Golden Eagles, Saturday, November 2nd at 12. WEIU is your home for Panther football.
Eastern Illinois with the punt team on the field on 4th down and 3 to go at their 39-yard line after the SEMO timeout. Spencer Davis is the deep man back on the 20 for Southeast Missouri State. Senior punter Scott Weatherford lines up, coming off his best game of the year, and now before the ball is snapped, there's a penalty flag thrown by the umpire right behind the defensive line.
Well, if this would be against SEMO, it would be a first down for the Panthers. But seldom do you see a penalty called on the defense in a situation like this.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Receiving team number 6. Also unsportsmanlike conduct. Kicking team number 42. Those fouls offset. 4th down.
Seldom do you see an unsportsmanlike conduct before the ball is snapped either.
Yeah.
Those are some serious trash talkers that are going before the play starts.
And it was coming out of a timeout, so you would have thought they'd had a little time to cool off.
Darius Darden-Box of SEMO and Alex Helms of Eastern were penalized on the play. It's still 4th and 3 at the 39.
Alex Helms had an outstanding game last week against Austin P. He led the team in tackles in a reserve role.
4th and 3. Jake McNair with a good snap. A little bit of pressure. Kick blocked. SEMO blocks the kick, and they're going to scoop it up at the 20, at the 15, at the 10, at the 5. It's a touchdown for Southeast Missouri State. David Smart blocked it. Zach Levy picked it up and returned it 20 yards for a touchdown.
Well, the SEMO special teams were able to do what the offense has been able to do only once, and that is score. And just like that, it's 34-12.
Score comes with 9:09 left to go in the first half. So Southeast Missouri State gets on the board in the second quarter, and now they're going to go for the extra point. Alex Knight in to attempt the point after. Had his last one missed. High snap. They get it down, though. This kick is up, and this kick is good. We'll take another look at that block punt. SEMO just had more white shirts there than Eastern had guys to block him, it looked like.
I believe this is the first punt that Weatherford's had blocked, and he didn't take an excessive amount of time with that punt at all. That was not on Weatherford. That was just that, as you said, the Panthers were a little bit outnumbered as SEMO coming after it hard and got it.
So Zach Levy picked up the block and takes it back 22 yards for the touchdown to make the score now Eastern Illinois 34, Southeast Missouri State 13, and we've got 9:09 left to go in the first half. Again, our halftime guest today will be EIU's men's basketball coach, Jay Spoonhour. I want to welcome our radio listeners on the Panther Football Network, Hitmix 88.9 WEIU FM in Charleston, WRJM 1270 AM and 96.1 FM in Charleston, WMKR 94.3 in Taylorville, and WHOW 1520 AM and 92.3 FM in Clinton, and also our listeners at EIUPanthers.com, our online listeners today. Next Saturday, Eastern at Tennessee State for a 4 o'clock kickoff. We'll be on the radio at 3:30 next Saturday from Nashville. Looks like Ryan McCrum will kick off for Southeast Missouri State. Takes a short run up and hits kind of a short kick. It's going to go to one of the blockers at the 25, at the 30. Adam Gristick across the 35, and make that Seth McDonald on the return up to near the 40-yard line. Seth McDonald, a freshman from Sandwich, Illinois, who normally is a blocker for Eastern, turned into a return man there, and he looked like he knew what he was doing with the ball, Jack. I bet he carried it some in high school.
Yeah, you would think so, and that was what I was talking about that I think SEMO should do. Just return that and get the yardage you can and improve your team's field position. 37-yard line for the Panthers. That's a pretty good starting place.
First down, 10 to go. Handoff up the middle. Duncan, little hesitation move across the 40 up to the 43. Picked up about 5 or 6 yards on the carry. Duncan now up over 40 yards today. He's got a touchdown. He's gone over 1,000 in his career. Roper Garrett on the stop. Second down, 4 Panthers. There's the snap. Handoff again. Duncan straight ahead. Pops through for the first down across the 50. Brought down at the SEMO 48. Again, Garrett, the middle linebacker, a freshman. Redshirt freshman from Farmington, Missouri on the tackle.
You saw some of Duncan's power running on that play. The previous play, you saw a little bit of his elusiveness.
Another handoff to Duncan, angling left. Another spin move by Duncan to the 45. Going to be brought down at the 44-yard line. He got 4 yards. And again, Garrett on the tackle. Duncan on the carry, Garrett on the tackle, 3 plays in a row. Ball at the SEMO 44. Second down, 6 to go for Eastern. 8:20 to go in the first half. Panthers lead Southeast Missouri State 34-13. Now they motion Duncan out on the left. Out of the shotgun, Garoppolo back to pass. A lot of time over the middle. Caught by Drake at the 30. First down to the SEMO 29. Ben Cargbo on the tackle for SEMO as Drake hauls in his 3rd catch of the day.
Drake just went down about 10 yards and then angled across the middle. Garoppolo delivered the ball right in stride.
First and 10 Eastern at the 29. Handoff Duncan, going to head to the left, and now up the middle to about a 2-yard gain at the 27. It'll be second down and 8 coming up. Whistler Imonis on the tackle. Duncan's going to come out of the game, and Shepard Little replaces him at running back. Drake to the left, Laura to the right with Gober, and now Ryan Meyer goes out wide to the left on 2nd and long. Fake handoff, Garoppolo, pass caught by Meyer, 25, 20, got a first down, and he's out of bounds at the 17. Well, Laura was kind of blocking there as Meyer caught it, though no flag for interference, and Ryan Meyer knocked out of bounds by Imonis, picks up a first down. 10-yard pickup to the 17 of Southeast Missouri State. Here's Garoppolo, hands to Little, heading right at the 15, down to the 13. Roper Garrett on the tackle again as Little gained 4 yards over the right side. 7:25 to go first half. It's second down and 6 for Eastern at the 13 of Southeast Missouri State. Drake and Laura head left, Gober to the right, Meyer comes out on the right. Little the running back alongside Garoppolo in the gun on 2nd and 6. Handoff up the middle. No, fake handoff. Garoppolo on the keeper, gets inside the 10, close to a first down at the 7. They faked it to Little on the right, and Garoppolo kept it around the left end. And let's see, I think he's a little short of the first down. Tackle made by Matt Starks. 3rd down, 1 to go. Another handoff, Little up the middle. First down, broke a tackle, touchdown, Eastern Illinois. Little got hit at the 5, broke the tackle, and went in standing up for his 3rd touchdown of the first half.
Terrence Hill had a crack at him for Southeast Missouri, but Little ran right through that attempted tackle, and Panthers now have scored their 6th touchdown in 7 possessions.
Makes it 40-13 in favor of Eastern as Canberra comes in for the extra point try. Berra trying for the 130th extra point of his career. If he makes it, he'll be only 3 shy of the Eastern career record. There's the snap, placed down, kicks up, and the kick is good. We'll take a break. 6:49 to go in the first half. Our score is now Eastern Illinois 41 and Southeast Missouri State 13 on the Panther Football Network.
Eastern Illinois Panther Sports on WEIU are brought to you in part by LD Mechanical Contractors Incorporated of Charleston offers plumbing, heating, and air conditioning sales and installation, featuring Train Heating and Cooling Systems, Heil Heating and Cooling Products, and GeoComfort Geothermal Heating and Cooling Systems. LD Mechanical Contractors in Charleston. Additional funding provided by viewers like you. Thank you.
Here's a classic movie quiz. 1987's Raising Arizona stars Holly Hunter and Nicolas Cage.
That there's the kitchen area where Mom and Pa chow down.
Who was the film's cinematographer?
We never done this before.
It was Barry Sonnenfeld, who went on to direct Men in Black. You provide the popcorn, the couch, and the TV. We'll provide great movies like Raising Arizona.
Tune in tonight at 8 o'clock on WEIU.
Good crowd on hand at O'Brien Field for Homecoming 2013, and they're liking the show that Coach Dino Baber's team is putting on. That's the offensive coordinator, Sterling Gilbert, right next to Dino. 41-13 Panthers as Shepard Little just scored his 3rd touchdown of the first half. He's had a 19-yard run, a 5-yard run, and now this 8-yard run where he just bounced off that tackler.
Yeah, not real good technique that time by the SEMO tackler, Terrence Hill, as he didn't wrap him up at all, and Little wasn't about to be knocked off his feet with a play like that.
So Taylor Kerr, the busiest man in Charleston today, will kick off for the 7th time. It's been a while since the Southeast Missouri State offense has been on the field. Eastern has run the last 13 plays because last time the possession before, the Panthers had a block punt that SEMO picked up in return for a touchdown. Washington deep with Davis just past the goal line as Kerr gets set to kick off. Here's Kerr on the approach, and a squib kick bouncing right down the middle across the 30, picked up at the 28, up to the 30. Ron Coleman, the fullback, brings it up to the 39. So that time they did have a ball carrier, Coleman, who picked up that bouncing football and ran it back for about 12 or so yards.
And Coleman, though, is a big guy. He's 5'11", 267, so he was in there, I think, primarily for his blocking ability, but he also knows what to do with the football once he gets his hands on it. And SEMO has pretty good field position here with the line of scrimmage their own 39.
Andre Alvarez down to make that tackle on the kick cover team for Eastern Illinois. Alvarez is a senior out of Lane Tech High School in Chicago. Here's Lathrop on 1st and 10 at his 39. Handoff to Jackson around the right end. Spins around a man at the 40, 45, 50. Jackson to the 45, to the 40. Brought down by McNulty at the 35 of Southeast Missouri State. 2nd time today, Jackson has broke loose for a big gain. That was 26 yards. And McNulty stopped him on that early long gain he had, too, in the first quarter.
Jackson now has 80 yards on the game here in the first half, so he's having a nice afternoon for himself, primarily on the strength of 2 big running plays.
1st and 10 SEMO, ball at the Eastern 34. They're in the shotgun. Lathrop. And fakes a handoff, back, has to dodge the rush, roll into the left, gets away, throws to the sideline. It's caught over here at the 30 by McRoberts, and he's out of bounds around the 27. Paul McRoberts on the catch, his 2nd of the day, and it'll go as about an 8-yard pickup as Lathrop did a good job to escape the pass rush that time.
McRoberts had a touchdown that tied the game late in that contest against Murray State last week that enabled them to send it into overtime when they eventually won.
2nd and 3 for SEMO at the Eastern 27. Handoff to Jackson, coming to the left, cuts back, has a hole, 25-20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. DeMichael Jackson scores as he was able to get away at the line of scrimmage, and then Nick Beard was the only guy that had a shot at him in the secondary, couldn't bring him down at the goal line. So Southeast Missouri with a quick scoring drive.
Jackson had only a 3.8 yard per carry average coming into this ball game, but he certainly has exceeded that this afternoon as he's played very well, and they're opening up some holes for him as well.
He's over 100 yards rushing now, mainly on the strength of 3 long runs. Alex Knight in to attempt the extra point. 1 for 2 today. His kick is up, and the kick is good. We'll hold it here, and we'll again watch that run by DeMichael Jackson. Headed to the left, cut back, and there was just no support there, Jack, for Eastern.
No, there really wasn't, and Jackson did a nice job of reading what he needed to do, just kind of weaved through that hole and then took it back a little bit to the outside and had no problem getting into the end zone on that carry.
There's a penalty flag down after the extra point.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 32 is the defense. 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
That's Camus Gruget Hill on the block team for Eastern that got called for the extra point, or for the penalty on the extra point.
Things apparently getting a little chippy down there on the field, but from our vantage point, we really haven't been able to see anything out of line at all. So one would have to guess it's pretty much a verbal thing that's going on between the two teams.
Coming up at halftime, Jay Spoonhour, Eastern's men's basketball coach, is going to be our guest. We'll check scores of other games. We'll have some first half highlights and also check the statistics on this game. And there have been lots of statistics so far today. Total offense, Eastern has got 400. Well, we got the official numbers now, but Eastern's over 400 already.
Yeah, the Panthers have 415 yards of total offense to 151 for SEMO. Mike, this is a situation where the Panthers need to be aware of a possible onside kick, because SEMO really doesn't have a lot to lose in this situation as they are kicking off from midfield.
After the personal foul penalty against Eastern. So here's Ryan McCrum to kick off from the 50-yard line. Here's the approach, and he hits it deep, and that's going to be a touchback. It'll land beyond the end zone. So Eastern will get the ball at the 25. 6:01 to go in the first half. It's 41-20 in favor of Eastern Illinois.
You know, I don't really understand that strategy, because if you kicked it off like on an onside kick, at worst Eastern probably would have the ball at around the 40 or maybe between the 40 and the 35-yard line. When you just kick it out of the end zone, you're gaining 15 yards on that, but you lose an opportunity of maybe getting the ball back. And you already trail in the ball game by 21 points.
Jimmy Garoppolo leads the Eastern offense back out onto the field. Garoppolo today 14 out of 15 passing, 286 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's got 3 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left, up the middle little. Nice hold. He's across the 30 to the 34. Hit from behind and stopped just a little bit short of a first down. Eastern is getting a lot of rushing yards in this game. Little has 73. Duncan's got 59 so far. 2nd and 1. There's another handoff. Little cuts back, has room across the 40, dodging a man, gets to the 45 and a first down. Another 11 for Shepard Little, and he looks really good running the ball.
Panthers running backs get overlooked a little bit with all the numbers put up by Garoppolo and the offense.
1st and 10. There's another give to Little through the middle at the 50, 45. Another first down to the 43. He's just ripping off 10 yards every time he carries the ball. That was Andy McNeil on that tackle.
Little a little shaken up, and he's going to come off the field following that carry.
12-yard pickup there. It's a first down for Eastern at the SEMO 43. Jeff Lepak goes wide to the left with Adam Drake. Gober wide to the right with Laura. Duncan at running back. Garoppolo in the gun. He'll hand it to Duncan. Big hole up the middle. 40, 35. Stopped just short of a first down. Roper Garrett, the middle. No, check it. Andy McNeil from linebacker on the tackle on Duncan.
When you see running plays like this in succession, you got to credit the offensive line for opening up some real good holes.
Duncan again over the left side gets a first down across the 30. He's brought down around the 28. It's just a relentless attack by Eastern. Ball at the 28. 1st and 10. This drive's all been on the ground. Out of the gun, Garoppolo, fake handoff, quick pass caught by Laura. Laura hit behind the line and stopped at the 30, lost a couple. They went to the pass, and SEMO was ready for it, and Zach Levy jumped up and hit Laura as soon as he caught it for a 3-yard loss.
And Laura limps off the field. That time, Keandre Gober was out in front trying to block on that play, missed his block, and Levy was able to put a real solid hit on Laura.
He was shaken up a little bit and come out of the game. Trey Pendergrass has come in to replace him. Ball's at the SEMO 30, 2nd down, 12 to go. Pendergrass to the left with Drake, Gober to the right. Here's Garoppolo. He's going to hand up the middle. Duncan hit from behind as he crossed the 30, falls forward to the 28. So Duncan got about 3 yards back, pretty much got back the yardage lost on the previous play. Travis Sanders tackled him. 3rd down and 10 for Eastern at the 28 of SEMO. Here's Garoppolo from the shotgun, looks to pass, fakes short, now throws short, hits Gober at the 30, up the sideline, stepped out of bounds around the 27. It's going to be well short of the first down. Knocking him out, Terrence Hill. Ball's on the 27 of SEMO. It's going to be 4th and 9. Panthers look like they'll go for it with 4:09 to go in the first half.
Yeah, this would be an awful long field goal, especially on a windy afternoon. So
Laura's back in the game for Eastern for this 4th down play. 5 wideouts. Garoppolo out of the gun. Movement up front, but they get back. Nope, they don't. Well, wait a minute. Official blew the play dead and threw the flag, maybe against Eastern.
I think probably
False
it
start.
is.
Offense, number 4. 5 yards, 4th down.
Keandre Gober, a wide receiver, got called for the false start. So put the ball at the 32 of SEMO.
Gober's looking, excuse me, Mike Gober's looking around like he doesn't really know what he did wrong on that particular play.
4th and 14 for the Panthers. They need to get down to the 18 for a first down. Drake and Laura and Lepak go to the left. Duncan's wide to the right with Gober. They're looking over to the sideline. And they may just run the clock down here and call timeout. Play clock's at 8. Nobody on the Eastern sideline doing any signaling at all, so I think they're going to run it down and call a timeout here. And they do with 3:26 to go in the first half.
Timeout, Eastern Illinois. They're first.
We will hold it here with the Panthers ahead in the game, 41-20. They announced the attendance a little bit ago, and we don't have the number yet, but it's up over, it's not a record, it's over 11,000 though, and it could very well be the largest homecoming crowd in Eastern history. We'll try to get that number for you coming up here in just a little bit.
The main west stands are virtually filled. They put up some temporary bleachers in the south end zone, and those are pretty well populated. The only area that really is just partially filled is the east bleachers across the way on the visiting side.
The reaction in the background you just heard was they played a Tony Romo video on the board at the during the break, and I couldn't hear everything Tony had to say, but he said "Go Panthers" at the end, and that's what people were reacting to. Attendance today is 11,569. That would be the largest this year, the largest ever homecoming crowd at Eastern, breaking the previous homecoming record of 11,052 set in 1986. So before today, the top 10 crowds in Eastern history were all on family weekend, so this one will now be in the top 10. Okay, Panthers will go for it. It's 4th and 13 at the SEMO 31. Actually, they've switched off now and brought in the field goal team. So Cameron Berra is lining up a 48-yard field goal try. This would be his longest of the season. 48 yards from the right hash mark. Weatherford holds. Long count. And they're going to take the delay of game penalty, it looks like. Or wait a minute. No delay of game, but there's a flag first. Play clock was still at 12. Flag thrown by the linesman on the far side.
Snap infraction. Offense, number 52. 5 yards, 4th down.
Jake McNair, the long snapper, got called for that penalty, and Dino Babers is finally going to say, I give up, we'll punt. Eastern tried to draw them off sides, tried to, I think, draw them off sides even with the field goal team, and ended up just getting penalties on that. So they finally wind up at the 36 of SEMO with 4th down and almost 20 to go. They bring in Weatherford to punt. Now, last time he had his punt blocked in return for a touchdown. High snap, but Weatherford's got it. Pressure up the middle, but the kick's away. High spiral right down the middle, going to go into the end zone. Touchback. Panthers had the guys down there, but the kick was too far. Went 5 yards deep into the end zone.
The thing about that, Mike, is I don't think Dino Babers ever had an intent on trying a field goal from that distance. He was hoping to draw them off sides, and then once the 5-yard penalty was assessed on the Panthers, it really gave the punter Weatherford an opportunity, or a better opportunity, to pin SEMO deep. Unfortunately, his kick carried into the end zone, so it comes out to the 20, but I think that was a case where the 5-yard penalty was not anything that the Panthers would have been upset about at all.
Last time SEMO had the ball, they drove 61 yards in 3 running plays. DeMichael Jackson, right? Well, 2 runs and a pass. DeMichael Jackson had 53 yards on 2 carries on that touchdown drive. 1st and 10 Redhawks at their 20. 3:19 to go in the quarter and the half. Back to pass Lathrop. He's going to throw it out on the right. It's caught by Foster at the 25. He's tripped up there. 5-yard gain. Robert Haynes, the middle linebacker, brought down DJ Foster. So 5-yard gain for Foster on his first catch of the day. SEMO's got 1 timeout to go. Eastern's got 2. 3 minutes to go in the first half. It's EIU 41, Southeast Missouri State 20. 2nd down, 5 to go Redhawks at their 25. They're taking a little bit of time here, getting organized. Now they're in the gun. Here's Lathrop back, going to keep on a quarterback draw to the right. Has some room across the 30. 1st down, run out of bounds by Wycliffe at the 35-yard line. 10-yard pickup by Lathrop along the right sideline.
That's what a running quarterback can do. Antonio Taylor was coming on a blitz off the corner on the left side, and Lathrop just ran right past him for a 1st down.
So that stops the clock at 2:43 to go in the first half. Gives SEMO 1st and 10. They're going to send Foster wide to the left. They've got Davis in the slot to the left. Looks like McRoberts wide to the right. Lathrop back to pass. Has time. Throwing to the right sideline. Caught by McRoberts. And I think he's got a 1st down at the 45. Put the ball right on the 45. Pete Houlihan on the coverage and a 10-yard pickup to McRoberts. 1st down, Southeast Missouri State.
Just a little out pattern that time to Roberts, who got right to the yard marker before darting out of bounds.
First and 10 Redhawks. They wind the clock out of the shotgun. Quarterback draw Lathrop. He's in trouble. Delphonse grabs him, and down he goes back at the 39. 6-yard loss for Lathrop as Fedney Delphonse sniffed that play out. Now the clock's running with 2:18 to go in the half, and it's going to be second down and about 14 to go for Southeast Missouri State.
Here's that play again as Delphonse wraps him up, and then Haynes comes in and levels both of them.
Put the ball on the 41 for a 4-yard loss. It's second down and 14. Here's Lathrop out of the shotgun. Takes the snap, 3-man rush. Lathrop back to pass, throwing it to the right, and a diving catch is made near the 50 by McRoberts. Spot him at the SEMO 49.
That was a short gain, but a very nice catch by McRoberts.
10-yard gain. Clock moving with 1:42 to go in the half. It's third down and 6 for Southeast Missouri State at their 49. They've got one timeout. Eastern has got 2 timeouts remaining this half. Panthers lead the game 41-20. Wide to the right is McRoberts. Wide to the left, Foster. Davis in the slot. There's the snap. Back to pass. The backup quarterback. Now Lathrop with the pass. It's incomplete. It was Lathrop. He tried to screen pass to Jackson. It was incomplete. It'll be 4th and 6. And now we'll see what Tony Samuel wants to do. Looks like he sends in the punt team.
Panthers sniffed out that screen pretty well as there were some defenders in that area. Even if that pass had been complete, I don't think it would have been good for a first down.
So Alex Knight into punt again. He's netting 36 yards a kick today. Laura and Little are deep just inside the 10-yard line for EIU. Knight from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, an 190-pound freshman. There's the waist-high snap. He rolls out to the left, gets the kick away to the near sideline, and it'll go out of bounds. There's a penalty flag at the line of scrimmage. The ball went out somewhere around the 15 or 20-yard line. Let's check this flag. Spot the ball at the 17. And now we'll check out the penalty flag. Thrown by the linesman on the near side. If it's a 5-yard penalty, it won't be a first down, but it might be enough that SEMO would go for it.
Illegal formation on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty added to the end of the kick. First down.
So Eastern will get the ball in a little bit better position, up around the 22.
Well, 78 yards away from the goal line. 1:12 left to play in the half. 2 timeouts remaining. Certainly plenty of time for the Panthers with their quick strike offense.
Actually going to start this drive at their 23. Eastern Illinois leads the game 41-20. Panthers have rolled up 460 yards of total offense in the first half. Lepak wide to the left. Drake with him and Laura with him. Gober wide to the right with Duncan. Empty backfield for JG. Back to pass on first down. Steps up. Throws over the middle. It's caught at the 40 by Laura for a first down. He threaded that through a pair of linebackers.
He really did. His own defense there for Southeast Missouri, and Laura found a little bit of an opening, and Garoppolo threw it through that small window.
First and 10. Garoppolo back at his 40. Pump fake. Throws short on the right. Hits Gober at the numbers at the 48. He's knocked down hard. 8-yard pickup. Inbounds. Clock will run. Emonis on the tackle for Southeast Missouri State. Eastern's going to take timeout with 54 seconds to go in the half.
Timeout. Eastern Illinois. They're second.
1 timeout remaining for the Panthers. We'll hold it here with 54 seconds left in the first half. Gives us a chance to do a station break. We're at O'Brien Field. It's homecoming weekend, and the largest homecoming crowd in Eastern history here today. They've watched the Panthers take a 41-20 lead just before halftime. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Panther Football Network. One timeout left for the Panthers. 54 seconds. They've got the ball at their 48. Second down, about 2 yards to go. Next Saturday, big game at Tennessee State at 4 o'clock. You can hear that game on the radio starting at 3:30 next Saturday. Panthers back home 2 weeks from today to meet Tennessee Tech at noon. That's your next chance to watch EIU on WEIU TV. That'll be 12 noon, Saturday, November the 2nd. And then a game at Murray State after that on November the 9th. Wide to the left, Adam Drake. Wide to the right, Keandre Gober. Jeff Lepak and Eric Laura in the slot on the right on second down and 2 at the 48. Garoppolo in the shotgun. Back to pass. Fakes a short pass. Looking, throwing over the middle, and knocked away. Incomplete. Intended for Lepak, thrown just a little behind him. Roper Garrett knocked it away, and then Terrence Hill also on the coverage for SEMO.
Good job by the linebacker who had dropped back into pass coverage as he got a hand on that ball and knocked it away from Lepak.
3rd and 2. There's the snap. Fake handoff. Nope, they give it, but it's a fumbled handoff. Garoppolo falls on it at the 46. They were trying that little double handoff on the delay to Duncan, and Duncan left without the football. It was on the ground for a moment, and Garoppolo had to dive on it. 2-yard loss on the play. Selwyn Carroll was there for SEMO, and now with 30 seconds to go, the clock running, Eastern can just about run it out here. In fact, Panthers can run it down and try. If SEMO lets them, Eastern can run the clock down, call timeout, and run a Hail Mary here on the last play of the half. Play clock is only about a second under the game clock. 15 seconds to go in the half. Dino Babers letting it run down. And he'll take the last timeout somewhere in the last 10 seconds. Down to 5 seconds to go. And there's the timeout. Or are they going to take the delay of game? Clock stops with 1.2. I never saw the timeout signal, so they may just take the delay of game.
Timeout. Southeast Missouri State. They're 3rd.
Why?
Please set the game clock to 2.8
I have no idea.
seconds.
Why in the world?
Now the Panthers, they don't have to punt it, and as you said, they can come out with one more offensive play because as soon as they run it, the half will be over. That just makes no sense whatsoever.
If nothing else, if you're SEMO and you want them to run another play, let them call the delay of game and back them up 5 yards. That makes no sense. So SEMO's out of timeouts. I guess that Tony Samuel wanted to make sure he didn't have that timeout at halftime or something.
It's not like it carries over to the second half, so I don't know what that was about. You know, Mike, you mentioned on the radio in the Panther preview show about the buzz in town about this Panther team, and I was walking across the parking lot, and I stopped at about 3 tailgates on my way to the stadium, and there were about 3 or 4 people told me that they were planning on going to Nashville next week. So, you know, it's to the point where their fans are starting to travel, and that's always a good thing.
All right, guess what? Eastern's offense is on the field and not the punt team. It's 4th down and 4, but that's not really important. There's 2.8 seconds on the clock. Panthers have the ball at their 46, so they're going to try a Hail Mary. Garoppolo back to pass, being pressured, has to roll out to his left. Being chased, Jimmy's under siege over there, has to flip it up the sideline, incomplete. Just threw it away, and that's the end of the first half. So a good pass rush by SEMO, foiled that last attempt by Eastern.
Fortunately for SEMO, that pass was incomplete, and if the Panthers could come up with a score there, as Desi Arnaz used to say, Tony Samuels would have had some splaining to do.
We're at halftime. We're going to take a 2-minute break as the teams head to the locker room. The halftime score is Eastern Illinois 41 and Southeast Missouri State 20. We'll be back in 1 minute on the Panther Football, 2 minutes on the Panther Football Network.
Eastern Illinois Panther Sports on WEIU are brought to you in part by
Sarah Bush Lincoln Health System, providing care for all and creating healthy communities, offering general and specialty medicine and a complement of diagnostic and rehabilitative services. Sarah Bush Lincoln, trusted, compassionate care.
Buffalo Wild Wings Mattoon, offering a variety of atmospheres, daily specials, over 15 sauces, and a large selection of beer. Whether it's a business lunch, an outdoor scene, night of sports, or just a wild night, Buffalo Wild Wings has it. 124 Detro Drive, Mattoon. Drake Homes, building homes right here in East Central Illinois. Design Build, where design start. Indoor-outdoor connection. Phone 1-800-356-2572. For Drake Homes of Charleston, good luck Panthers from Drake Homes.
additional funding provided by viewers like you. Thank you.
Local radio, local news, local information.
Local sports.
Up-to-date weather twice an hour. The EIU Morning Mix with Rob Calhoun and friends.
We play your requests. the safe station for your kids and the workplace.
Live EIU Panther Sports.
On your 13 TV in the morning.
On WEIU TV Digital 51.6 all the time.
Streaming at WEIU.net.
Everything a radio station can be, we are.
This is Zip Mix 88.9 WEIU.
Welcome back to O'Brien Field. I want to kick off today's halftime show by talking about Eastern Illinois' men's basketball team, which has already started practice for this year. Head coach Jay Spoonhour is with us. And Jay, you've got, after coaching really a 10-man team all of last year, you've got certainly a bigger team in numbers and a bigger team in terms of size right now.
Yeah, that was kind of the idea, at least have enough to practice with. You know, we had our moments last year where we were playing 5-on-5 or 4-on-4 or whatever it was, and didn't have many subs in practice. So now we've got quite a few guys, and there's not a lot of separation right now. I don't think there usually is at this time. I mean, I think that your returning guys are usually the ones that, you know, have got an idea what's going on, and then the other guys eventually catch up. We've got, with us, we're going to play differently than we played last year. A lot of it will be the same, but the speed of the game will be different, and so the returning guys have an advantage just because they know kind of what drives me crazy and what doesn't, but there are some new things that that they don't have an advantage on. So it's just a matter of trying to blend all these guys in and figure out who can do what.
You talked about a different style of play. You'll try to play a little bit faster this year.
Well, you play as fast as the team will allow you. You know, we started last year trying to play a fairly normal looking game, and that got adjusted about 3 games in, that we realized that we better take this air out of this a little bit. And so you want to go fast, because the faster you go, the better chance you have that the other team's not going to be back down there. It just becomes, okay, how fast can we play and not fire it into the stands, not travel, not turn it over? And we're searching for that right now. I mean, we're trying to get it up and down the floor, and we've got guys that, at this point, we're turning it over too much. But if you polled every coach in the country, we'd all be turning it over too much. None of us are at a point where we can think about beating any other team. It's just a matter of, okay, can you cut these things out of your game? And that's what these guys all have to learn. I mean, it takes time.
You've got 17 guys, I think, on the roster, but there's a 3-man returning nucleus that will be familiar to the fans.
Yeah, Pipe and Sherm and Alex all played a lot last year, and I don't think that they'll play as much this year. They had to play out of necessity last year. They all played at 30 minutes or a little bit above, and that's too much. And so it'll be probably a nice respite for them not to have to play all the time. But I think early in the year, those guys, along with Keenan Anderson didn't play as much last year. I think he played 6 or 7 minutes. But there's things that Keenan does that I really like, and there are things that he does that can help you win games. I mean, he's a really active guy. But Alex has looked really, really good, shooting the ball well. Pipe looks like Pipe, what everybody's used to seeing. And Sherm, was on the all-newcomer team last year, and he's preseason all-conference, and he's playing like that guy. He's playing like a guy that is sort of taking charge of stuff, and that's what we need.
Will his role be the same, because you've got more big guys now to where he doesn't have to be the biggest guy on the floor like he was a lot of times last year?
No, and he worked on that this year during the summer. I mean, he shot the ball a lot, and the whole thing is it's like getting a new toy. You go out and work on your jump shot all summer, and then you come in the first couple of days of practice and you want to try it out. Well, he doesn't need to turn into a jump shooter, but there were games last year where teams didn't guard him. And, he didn't feel 100% confident in his shot. Now he does. And as long as he's not searching for him, and it's just something that he can hold back and say, okay, if they don't guard me, I can make it, that's a good thing. But, yeah, he is going to – there will be times that he will – I'm not a numbers guy in terms of you're the 3, you're the 4, but he's playing more like a guard, which he probably needed to do.
We're talking with Eastern's men's basketball coach, Jay Spoonhour. You've got a lot of new faces then. How do they figure to mix into this blend?
Well, there's, at this point, you said 17 guys, and it is, and I'm saying like right now, 15 of them have a viable shot at getting out there. Everybody at this point, and I think that this is a typical thing. Guys want to show the coach or whatever, show the other players, hey, I can make this play. And when you do those things in the summer, they work because nobody's playing defense. No, there's no help defense. Nobody's trapping. Nobody's doing anything. Well, now you start, if you beat your man, you're running into somebody, and you're going to run into help defense, and you're going to end up making bad plays. So we have a lot of the new guys trying to do too much and making bad plays. Sprinkled in there are some pretty good plays. So what you've got to try to do is get those good plays out of them and say, hey, let's see if we can hold those other ones in abeyance for a while and try to make solid plays that win games. But there are 15 guys right now that, shoot, they can come in and do something.
I keep reading about they're going to officiate games differently. They're going to crack down on the hand check and that sort of stuff this year. Do you think that's going to happen, and does that change the way you coach and practice?
They say it is, so you better take them at their word. There was a few years ago in the NBA that they did this, and everybody went crazy because they called fouls all over the place, and it made everybody mad. And I think it'll be that way now. I think they will call it closer, and I think people will be mad. I think that eventually it will probably clean the game up to where people when you talk to folks, anybody who's over the age of 50, they all say, God, the game's too rough now. The game's too rough. And it's true. If you're trying to win games and the officials would allow you to do it like they always have, you just knock the tar out of folks, and you put your hands on them and you push them. It does ugly the game up. And so I think that what they're really saying right now is, hey, look, if a guy's got a dribble and he's going at the goal, you can't put a hand on him. Well, that makes it really hard to defend. But I think that what they're going for is more good-looking plays. I mean, the scoring has gone down every year, and you can debate what the reasons are for that. But I know that if they call the fouls they're talking about calling, which is anytime a guy drives, if he's touched, it's a foul, and they're talking about the secondary defender. Like if a guy comes over to help, there's probably too many charges taken. They're trying to eliminate some of those. They want you to make plays defensively. So, yeah, I think you take them at their word, and I think that early in the year, folks are going to be like, what in the world? We shot 47 free throws, and we shot 10 less than the team we were playing.
You start 3 weeks from today. You're at Northwestern to start. You're at Purdue early on. The schedule's pretty interesting early. Yeah, probably a little too hard, but it's a good schedule. I mean, this group, we're talented enough that we can think about, and I think the guys feel that we can go play, that I think we feel like we're pretty good. We're not yet. I think we could get there. But the games we had, you mentioned Purdue and Northwestern. Western Kentucky was in the NCAA tournament. Indiana State, an NCAA tournament team. They're coming here. That's a really good home game for us. You've got, of course, Western Illinois again. We got Cleveland State. We got Wright State, who was one game away from the NCAA tournament. So you've really got hard games, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. We could really be a much better team, which I think we will be, and the wins may not reflect it. But I think that for us, you judge it on what you do in the league. And if we can get ourselves to where we are at 500 or above in the league, then we're showing progression and we're taking strides. And I'm not going to cap us at that because I think there's a chance that we could really, really do well. I'm really happy with the way everybody's going at it. So I'm not going to put any restrictions on it. We could go do anything we want to do. All right. Thanks for the time. Good luck.
Yep, you bet.
That's Jay Spoonhour, EIU's men's basketball coach. We'll take a 2-minute break at halftime on the Panther Football Network.
WEIU, your home for Eastern Illinois Panther Sports, presents Panther Sports Talk. Highlights, player features, and coaches' interviews with host Rich Moser. All things you need to know, EIU Sports on Panther Sports Talk.
Wednesday at 6 on WEIU.
Are you buried in mail? It's time to simplify.
WEIU has created a paper-free way to give to your favorite public television station. Giving monthly makes life simple, and it takes the hassle out of sorting through all this mail. We can take your gift out of your checking account or off your credit card each month, and those renewal notices, poof, gone. We'll only cancel your membership if you ask us to, meaning you don't have to worry about when it's time to give again. We call it a sustaining membership. Smaller gifts are easier on your wallet too, and it lets us put more of your gift back into the programs that you love. Donating monthly is easy and affordable, and sustaining memberships start at just $5 or more a month.
Call my J-Ma at WEIU today.
Shotgun. Garoppolo rolling out to his right. Pump fake. Sets up. Looking. Throwing the bomb. Going for Gober. Back of the end zone. Touchdown, Eastern Illinois.
Eastern Illinois Panther football is on WEIU. The high-flying EIU Panthers, led by quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, continue their run at back-to-back OVC championships as they welcome OVC rival Tennessee Tech to O'Brien Field. It's the Panthers and Golden Eagles Saturday, November 2nd at 12. WEIU is your home for Panther football.
Mike Brad, along with Jack Ashmore, welcoming you back to halftime at O'Brien Field in Charleston. Eastern Illinois with a 41-20 halftime lead over Southeast Missouri State. Let's check other scores. We'll start in the OVC. The big game in the OVC today is in Martin, Tennessee. They're in the third quarter. Tennessee State's got a 23-7 lead over UT Martin. Tigers trying to win to get to 4-0 ahead of that game against Eastern next Saturday. At halftime, Eastern Kentucky enjoys a 17-3 lead over Tennessee Tech. And Murray State in the first quarter, no score against Austin Peay. Eastern comes in third in the country. There's two teams ahead of them. One of them is North Dakota State. They're in Carbondale today, and they're losing right now. It's Southern Illinois 10, North Dakota State 7 in the second quarter in Carbondale. The number 2 team, Sam Houston State, plays tonight at McNeese State. McNeese State is ranked number 10, so both of the teams against Eastern have got tough opponents on their schedules today. Couple of other scores around the state. At halftime, Illinois State's got a 38-0 lead over Indiana State, and Northern Illinois in the second quarter tied up against Central Michigan 14-all. Illinois hosting Wisconsin tonight. We'll take a 2-minute break, come back and take a look at some first half highlights. Again, the score at the half is Eastern Illinois 41, Southeast Missouri State 20. Back in 2 minutes on the Panther Football Network.
Eastern Illinois Panther Sports on WEIU are brought to you in part by
Coles County Sanitation and Recycling, a family-owned and operated community service for over 30 years. Commercial, residential, and roll-off. Coles County Sanitation and Recycling, 345-7101.
Brainerd Law Office, serving the surrounding 10 counties with over 70 years of experience, specializing in litigation, probate and estate planning, family law, real estate transactions and development, landlord rights, commercial transactions, and risk management. The Brainerd Law Office, located in Charleston, next to the courthouse.
Coors Light offers a variety of beverages, including the 12 and 24-ounce cold-activated cans and bottles, as well as the vented wide-mouth can. The Adolph Coors Company, founded in 1873, would like to wish EIU good luck. Go Panthers! Additional funding provided by viewers like you. Thank you.
On Masterpiece Classic.
Living in a small town wasn't enough.
The story of a magical place, the mesmerizing man who owns it, and the young woman who finds herself in the Paradise.
I must prove that the Paradise can conquer this whole city.
The Paradise on Masterpiece Classic.
Be watching Monday at 8 on WEIU.
No one can predict the future. But for over 40 years, we've believed we can create one. By pushing boundaries, igniting curiosity, reaching out and connecting. A future where new tools help every child reach their potential, where everybody, no matter who they are, can experience great art, history, science, drama. Give to your PBS station and help create a future of endless possibilities for everyone.
Eastern Illinois leads Southeast Missouri State 41-20 at halftime at O'Brien Field. The EIU Panther Marching Band entertaining at halftime in front of this crowd, the largest homecoming crowd ever at EIU. Let's take a look at some first half highlights. Panthers did not wait long. They scored on their third play of the day. Garoppolo to Eric Laura, who broke a tackle, went 60 yards for a touchdown to make it 7-0. Eastern then hit Adam Drake on an 82-yard touchdown pass, and the Panthers led 14-0. SEMO got on the board midway in the first quarter. Long run through the middle by DeMichael Jackson gets him deep into EIU territory. That got him down around the 20-yard line. And then on their next play, Scott Lathrop hit Spencer Davis with a 15-yard touchdown pass with 6:53 left to go in the first quarter. They missed the extra point. Eastern had a 14-6 lead. Panthers countered right back. A handoff to Shepard Little through the middle, 21-yard touchdown run. That made it 21-6. Later in the quarter, Garoppolo hits Adam Drake with a long gain, and that pass is the one on which Garoppolo passed Sean Payton for the EIU career passing yards record. Taylor Duncan adds a touchdown late in the first quarter. Panthers were up 27-6. Little had another touchdown. That made it 34-6. In addition to his touchdown run early, Duncan had a big half running over a SEMO player there. Duncan also went over 1,000 yards in his career in the first half. Here's a SEMO touchdown, a block punt. Zach Levy picks it up, returns it 22 yards for a touchdown. Middle of the second quarter made it 34-12. But Eastern answered again. Shepard Little again, his third touchdown of the first half, made it 41-12. And then a nice drive on the ground by SEMO late in the half, and DeMichael Jackson scores on a 27-yard touchdown run. And we had a scoreless last 6 minutes of the first half. Halftime score, Eastern 41, Southeast Missouri State 20. We'll be back to look at the statistics and get the second half underway in 2 minutes on the Panther Football Network.
Eastern Illinois Panther Sports on WEIU are brought to you in part by At Carl, we dedicate ourselves to helping you be great. And we have the expertise and inspiration to help you stay that way.
Arby's Restaurant, locally owned with locations in Charleston and Mattoon, offering roast beef, curly fries, roast burgers, market fresh salads, and milkshakes. Arby's proudly supports the broadcast of Panther Sports on WEIU. Porter Auto Body of Charleston and Mattoon offers auto body repairs for cars, trucks, and vans. Porter uses environmentally friendly PPG waterborne paints. Porter Auto Body, serving the area for over 25 years.
Additional funding provided by viewers like you. Thank you.
Are you buried in mail? It's time to simplify.
WEIU has created a paper-free way to give to your favorite public television station. Giving monthly makes life simple, and it takes the hassle out of sorting through all this mail. We can take your gift out of your checking account or off your credit card each month, and those renewal notices, poof, gone. We'll only cancel your membership if you ask us to, meaning you don't have to worry about when it's time to give again. We call it a sustaining membership. Smaller gifts are easier on your wallet too, and it lets us put more of your gift back into the programs that you love. Donating monthly is easy and affordable, and sustaining memberships start at just $5 or more a month.
Call my J-Ma at WEIU today.
Public Relations Health Communications major from Chicago. The homecoming princess this year is Melanie.
Welcome back to O'Brien Field. Eastern Illinois with a 41-20 halftime lead over Southeast Missouri State. Lots of stats on the sheet for Jack to talk about.
Yeah, there certainly are. The Panthers in first downs have a big lead, 20-7 over SEMO. Both teams ran the football very well. The Panthers with 177 yards rushing in the first half to 119 for the Redhawks in total offense. A huge number put up by the Panthers in the first two quarters. 487 yards for EIU, 180 yards of total offense for Southeast Missouri. Panthers have punted twice in the game for an average of 13. That's misleading, of course, because there was that one punt that was blocked in return for a touchdown. 6 punts for SEMO in the first half, averaging 38 yards a punt. Panthers were penalized 5 times for 35 yards in that first half, compared with 3 for 14 yards for SEMO. Time of possession, Southeast Missouri had the ball for 16 minutes and 21 seconds, 13 minutes and 39 seconds for EIU. The Panthers were 3 of 7 on third down conversions. SEMO was 2 of 8. And on fourth down conversions, the Panthers were 1 of 2. SEMO did not go for it on fourth down. Looking at some individual statistics in that first half, rushing, Shepard Little led the way for the Panthers with 11 carries, 97 yards. Taylor Duncan also had a good first half with 77 yards on 14 carries. For Southeast Missouri, DeMichael Jackson led the way with 108 yards on 10 carries. Jimmy Garoppolo passing the football was 18 of 21 for 310 yards and 2 touchdowns. Scott Lathrop was 8 of 11 for 61 yards and 1 TD. Receiving, Eric Laura was 7 catches, good for 122 yards and a touchdown. Keandre Gober had 5 catches for 33 yards, and Adam Drake with 3 catches, but for 138 yards and 1 touchdown. And then for SEMO, Paul McRoberts had 4 catches for 30 yards. Tackling in the ball game, Pete Houlihan of EIU had 5, as did Alex McNulty. And for Southeast Missouri, Roper Garrett, their middle linebacker, was a very busy man. He had 10 tackles in that first half. So those are the numbers, Mike, and the Panthers dominating pretty much each and every one of them.
But not ahead as much on the scoreboard, I think, as they would like to be. They had a 27-6 lead at the end of the first quarter, and then both teams scored 14 in the second. So Eastern not able to pull away in the second like they have in some previous games. So they'll need to keep trying to churn out offense here in the third quarter.
No question about that. And one of the reasons that the stats are more skewed towards Eastern than the score was, of course, that block punt, because that was reflected in the punting numbers. But other than that, that quick score for Southeast Missouri special teams doesn't really register in the statistics that much.
Officially, there's no turnovers in the game, but the block punt is better than a turnover. It's like turning it over for a touchdown by the other team. Well, Garoppolo has been good. Eastern has relied on the run, particularly in the second quarter, relied on the run a lot more than they did early on. I'm wondering, Jack, I do think there's a little wind out of the south here, and I think we saw the Panthers throw it more in the first quarter when they had that wind and run it more in the second quarter going into that wind.
I think that might have been the case. In fact, right now, if you can project on to the second half what we saw in the first half, the Panthers this afternoon will have 2 receivers go over actually they got 2 receivers over the 100-yard mark now, and 2 rushers as well. So Eastern offense was pretty much hitting on all cylinders in that first half.
Thought Garoppolo was awfully good in the first half. Threw for just 2 touchdowns, but again, he was just on target one time after another.
310 yards passing, and he only misfired on 3 of his throws, as he was 18 of 21. Hard to beat numbers like that.
One of the misfires was the throwaway that he intentionally threw away at the end of the first half. Receivers did a good job. No drops, that I recalled in the first half either.
No, that's right. They did a good job catching the ball, some in traffic, some long passes. And, the Eastern receivers do a very nice job of running their routes and getting open. They're very technically sound in that area. And, Garoppolo gets a lot of credit, and rightly so, but Eastern's receivers are very well coached.
Last night, Panther volleyball team posted a good win. They were down 2 sets to none against the league leader Austin Peay, and came back and won 3 straight sets to win at 3-2. Eastern will be home tonight at 6 against Murray State at Lance Arena. Panther women's soccer beat Jacksonville State 2-1. What a job by the women's soccer coach Jason Cherry in his first year. His team was 0-9 to start, and he has rallied them, and they've gone 6-1 since then, won 6 of their last 7 all-conference games, and they're in first place in the OVC as we're getting near the end of the regular season. Panther swimming lost last night, their season opener. Both the men and the women lost at St. Louis. They'll be at home next weekend. They've got IUPUI Friday night, and then IUPUI and Illinois Chicago on Saturday.
They will kick to the Panthers.
All right, Southeast Missouri State will kick off to start the second half. They'll be going from the south to the north. So if there's a little wind out of the south, which I think there are, it's mainly a west wind, but I think it comes in out of the south as well. SEMO will have that at their back in the third quarter, and then Eastern will have it in the fourth. Deep for the Panthers, Shepard Little and Elvin Walker. 41-20 Panthers as Ryan McCrum kicks it off. High short kick to start the second half. Comes to McDonald at the 25, at the 30, and Seth McDonald is brought down around the 33-yard line. Second return for McDonald, taking the ball on those short kicks today. So Panther offense will start in pretty good position at their own 33-yard line. We'll see what adjustments they might have made at halftime. They're going into the wind here just like they were in the second quarter, when they seemed to be a little bit more conservative then than they were early in the game. The center is Nick Borey, Colin Seibert, Alex Pierce are the guards. James Lowry, Dominic Pagliara at tackle. Jimmy Garoppolo brings him out with 5 wide receivers, 2 to the left and 3 to the right on 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, Garoppolo looking over the defense. Checks with the sideline before they snap the ball on first down. There's the snap. Jimmy sets up. A lot of time. Now he's going to run with it. He's up to the 35, and he slides down at the 40-yard line. So Garoppolo couldn't find anybody. Big opening through the middle. He ran it for 7 yards. Second down, 3 yards to go. Panthers will get the tempo going now. 2 wideouts go right, 3 go left. Garoppolo lines them up in the gun. Back to pass. Has time over the middle. Incomplete off of the fingertips of Laura, cutting over the middle. And then it popped into the air and was nearly intercepted by Ron Davis, lurking back there at strong safety. Pass led Laura just a little too much. 3rd down and 3 for Eastern at their 40. Garoppolo's going to throw for it. Short pump fake. Now throws to the right. Hits Lepak. He's got a first down at the 46. He faked it deep and then found junior Jeff Lepak from Belton, Texas for about a 6-yard gain. Tackle made by Peter Lloyd. First down, 10 to go. Southeast Missouri for Eastern Illinois at their 46. Just underway third quarter. Panthers have a 41-20 lead. Handoff through the middle. Duncan trying to pick his way. Got to the 49. Stood up there, and they blow the play dead. They never did get him down, but it's about a 3-yard gain for Taylor.
Stacked up near midfield.
Stop made by Reggie Jennings. It'll be 2nd down, 7 to go for Eastern. Put the ball right at the 50-yard line. Here's Garoppolo out of the gun. Fake handoff, gonna throw. Now rolling out to the right. Jimmy motions a receiver downfield and throws incomplete for Keandre Gober. Gober broke downfield, and Garoppolo tried to back throw, a shoulder throw that was behind him.
3rd down.
3rd down. Called it 6 to go for the Panthers at midfield. Early third quarter, first possession of the second half. Panthers have 1 wide out to the right, 3 go to the left. Duncan's in the backfield. There's a high snap. Fake handoff. Garoppolo sets up. A lot of time. Throws to the left. Too high. Incomplete. Intended for Laura. 2 defenders there, but if the ball had been thrown a little bit lower, it would have been caught. Zach Levy on the coverage. 4th down. Punt team comes on for Eastern. So they made 1 first down, but could not move it past midfield.
Kind of a disappointing series that time for the Panthers, as they were wanting to get off to a good start in the second half and increase that lead. It currently stands at 21. SEMO trying to make a gain out of this.
McNair to snap it. Weatherford back in punt formation. He had a punt block for a touchdown in the first half. And the McNair had a high snap late in the first half too. This is a better snap. A little bit of rush from the outside. Kicks away right down the middle of the field. Spencer Davis, fair catch at the 17-yard line. So, nice kick by Weatherford. 34 yards. And Southeast Missouri State will set up inside their 20-yard line with 13:42 to go in the third quarter. Still 41-20 in favor of Eastern Illinois. Jack, I think Garoppolo may need to do more of what he did on the one play there, and that's run with the ball. Looked like SEMO's dropping a lot of guys into coverage, and he could have run, I think, on the 3rd down and made it.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think I certainly, and I imagine a lot of Panther fans, were very happy to see him slide as well.
All right, Scott Lathrop at the controls for Southeast Missouri State at their 17-yard line, moving right to left from the south to the north on their first possession this half. Lathrop on a planned run to the left, quarterback sweep, and he is tackled by Jordan Wycliffe for about a 1-yard gain. Wycliffe came up quickly, this junior from Columbus, Ohio, to get Lathrop right after he crossed the line of scrimmage.
Lathrop came into this ball game as the Red Hawks' leading rusher. He had only 4 yards on 8 carries in that first half.
2nd down, 9 to go for Southeast Missouri State from their 18-yard line. 2 wideouts go to the right. They've got DeMichael Jackson in the backfield alongside Lathrop in the shotgun. Double tight end set. Now Jackson's going to move over to the right of Lathrop on the shotgun set on 2nd and 9. Long count by Lathrop. There's the snap. Fake handoff. Lathrop rolling out to the right, throwing to the right sideline. It's caught by McRoberts. He's got a first down. He's out of bounds at the 30. Camu Gruget-Hill on the tackle for Eastern, and Pete Houlihan there as well. So McRoberts with his 5th catch spot the ball at the 29 of Southeast Missouri. That's a gain of 11 and a first down. 2 wideouts to the left. SEMO picking up the tempo just a little bit, although they're still looking to the side most of the time to get plays signaled in before they snap. Lathrop has gone all the way. They typically have played 2 quarterbacks in the game. Kyle Snyder, their backup, is a transfer from Ohio University. 1st and 10 Redhawks. There's a handoff to Jackson around the right side at the 30. Grabbed by the jersey and spun down around the 31, maybe the 32-yard line. Jackson was looking for the cutback, and Eastern grabbed him by the jersey, spun him around and down for about a 3-yard gain.
Surprised that Southeast Missouri hasn't run more option than they have. I expected to see quite a bit of that in this ball game, and really, we haven't.
2nd down, 7 to go for the Redhawks at their 32. They've been in the top 10 in the country in rushing 3 years in a row, but just not nearly as strong of a rushing team this year as they've been in the last 3 years, averaging about 100 yards a game less. 2nd and 7, fake handoff. Lathrop rolling out to the left, being chased and being sacked. He just kind of gave up as Pat Wertz and Dino Fonte closed in on him. I'm not sure who will get the tackle. Sacked back around the 24. Good pressure by Eastern, and now it'll be 3rd down, 15 to go for Southeast Missouri State.
Well, Wertz had the outside pressure, and the quarterback just decided to go on down, and Fonte was coming in from the backside and cleaned it up.
2 wideouts go to the right. Peter Lloyd to the right with Spencer Davis. Paul McRoberts comes to the left for Southeast Missouri State. It's 3rd and 15 at their 24. They've converted 2 of 8 on 3rd down today. Panthers with 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers, 5 DBs. Quarterback draw. Lathrop up the middle at the 30, 35, and brought down a little short of the first down at the 38. He made a good run to dodge guys on the way and picked up about 12, a little bit short of the first down. Let's see what Tony Samuel wants to do. They spot the ball at the 37. It's 4th and a good 2. No move to send in the special teams, though.
This is quite a bold move by Coach Samuel here early in the 2nd half.
Redhawks for the year, 5 out of 12 going for it on 4th down. They haven't tried today. They're lined up to go for it. 4th and 2 at their 37. Lathrop's in the shotgun.
Panthers have to be aware of the hard count here.
Here's Lathrop on the call, rolling out to the right, planned run. He's going to be grabbed, didn't make it. Fonte got him, and the Panthers will take over on downs as Fonte pursued it off the backside and tracked him down. Good play by Dino Fonte to run down the line behind the quarterback and tackle Lathrop for no gain with 10-11 to go in the 3rd quarter. Eastern will get it back.
Well, Lathrop running to his right had no chance as Fonte ran him down from the backside. And once again, I would think, Mike, a rather questionable call by Coach Tony Samuel early in the 3rd quarter, going for it on 4th and 2 in your own territory. Kind of a risky play, and it didn't work out very well for them.
41-20 Eastern. They take over at the 37 of SEMO. Garoppolo back. He's going to throw it deep down the middle. Wide open, Gober. Touchdown, Eastern Illinois. Gober got behind the safeties. He was all alone at the 5-yard line to haul in that touchdown pass. 3 TDs today for JG.
Gober was so wide open, the closest player to him was the middle linebacker, Roper Garrett, and obviously a defensive breakdown that time by Southeast Missouri.
Makes the score 47-20 in favor of Eastern as Cam Barra comes in to try the extra point. Jake McNair's snap is good. The kick is up, and the kick is good. We'll take a break with 10-10 to go in the 3rd quarter. And the score, Eastern Illinois 48, Southeast Missouri State 20 on the Panther Football Network.
Eastern Illinois Panther Sports on WEIU are brought to you in part by
Drake Homes, building homes right here in East Central Illinois. Design Build, where design start. Indoor-outdoor connection. Phone 1-800-356-2572. For Drake Homes of Charleston, good luck Panthers from Drake Homes.
Additional funding provided by viewers like you. Thank you.
Here's a classic movie quiz. 1987's Raising Arizona stars Holly Hunter and Nicolas Cage.
That there's the kitchen area where Mom and Pa chow down.
Who was the film's cinematographer?
We never done this before.
It was Barry Sonnenfeld, who went on to direct Men in Black. You provide the popcorn, the couch, and the TV. We'll provide great movies like Raising Arizona.
Tune in tonight at 8 o'clock on WEIU.
Eastern Illinois, after the fourth down fail by Southeast Missouri State, goes for the touchdown in one play. 37-yard touchdown pass from Garoppolo to Gober.
Gober right in the middle there, and nobody even close to him other than the middle linebacker. And you know that wasn't his assignment, to cover a speedy wide receiver like Keandre Gober.
Sixth touchdown catch this year for Gober. Eastern came into the game with 3 of the top 4 receivers in the OVC in the category of touchdown receptions. They had 3 of the top 4 in yards and 3 of the top 6 in receiving. Garoppolo has thrown 3 touchdowns today, 31 on the year, and he has tied his number from last year. We thought he was great last year. He's already tied his touchdown total for last year in Game 7.
31 touchdown passes, 4 interceptions.
Tyler Kerr to kick off for the Panthers. Here's the run-up, and it's a squib. It bounces off the front line, and it's loose at midfield, picked up by Simo on a bounce at the 39-yard line, and no return after that.
Boy, that was a dangerous play by Simo.
Nice little scoop up there for the Red Hawks by the blocker Roper Garrett. He maybe needs to play shortstop for the Dodgers. He might be better than Hanley Ramirez was in that series.
I thought we could get through a whole afternoon without you bringing that up.
You got 10 more days, probably 2 weeks of that, Jack.
Yeah, I hope not.
Jack is so full of Cub fan hate. 1st and 10, Red Hawks from their 39. 1 wide out left, 1 right. Lathrop under center, I formation, rolls right on the option play, pitches back. Jackson room to motor at the 40, 45, down the sideline across the 50. Out of bounds in Eastern Territory at the 49. There was the old-fashioned Nebraska option play. Robert Haynes on the tackle on Jackson on the pitch out.
The Michael Jackson having himself an outstanding ball game here this afternoon. He's run the ball very effectively.
Unlike you, Jack, I don't think that they've not run as much option as I expected today. 13 yards on that option pitch out to the Eastern 48. Shotgun snap. Lathrop's going to run it himself on a counter to the right. Gets outside 45. Watch out. 40, 35. They got him out of bounds. Knocking him out was Adam Gristic at the 35-yard line. All the blocking came to the left, and Lathrop hesitated momentarily and then ran it to the right and got around the corner for a good gain.
Simo came into this game averaging just around 16 points a contest, but they've been able to move the ball pretty effectively in this contest against the Panthers.
That was a 13-yard gain for Lathrop. They've got a 1st and 10 at the Eastern 35, but Eastern is ahead 48-20 with 9.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Lathrop in the shotgun, a running back on each side, Coleman and Jackson. Here's Lathrop on the call. Takes the snap and gives to Coleman, rambling right across the 35, inside the 30, brought down at the 28. Jordan Wycliffe on the tackle for EIU with some help from Adam Gristic.
Coleman's best season actually at Simo was his freshman year when he was the team's 2nd leading rusher. He's a big guy, though. In fact, his career high of 77 yards came against the Panthers that freshman season.
That was here 2 years ago. I guess that would be 3 years. Oh, no, 2 years ago, 2011. Actually, it was in Cape, I think. 2nd down 3. Red Hawks at their 28. Another counter run by Lathrop to the right. Cuts back, and he's close to the 1st down. Got to the 25 and got driven back. That was the same play that he had gained 13 on a couple of plays back. Check the spot here. Maybe a 1st down. It's at the 25-yard line. 1st down, Southeast Missouri State. So the Red Hawks are moving it. They started this drive at their 39. They've moved it to the Eastern 25 in only 4 plays. They've all been run plays. 1st and 10. Lathrop out of the shotgun. Has wide to the left Foster. Slot to the left Peter Lloyd. Panthers haven't had a takeaway in this game. Eastern comes in 6th in the country with 18 takeaways. Here's Lathrop out of the shotgun on 1st down. He's going to roll right on the option, and he's going to keep it and be stopped for no gain. The Panthers did a very nice job there with Gristic and Grugier Hill teaming up on the tackle, Wycliffe as well.
One thing that made that play a little more difficult for Southeast Missouri is they were running the option to the short side of the field, which kind of limited the space that they had to operate in.
They couldn't get enough separation between the quarterback and the pitchman, and the same defenders could really cover both people. Second down, 11 for SEMO after a 1-yard loss. They're at the Eastern 26. Now they're in the pistol. They snap it to Lathrop. He's rolling out to the left. Looking, throwing to the left sideline. Caught by Foster, but only about a 2-yard gain at the 23. Robert Haynes on the coverage. Foster caught the ball off balance and went down to one knee before Haynes even got there.
You know, I questioned Tony Samuel's decision going for it on 4th and 2 in their own territory, but I'm sure a lot of that decision was based on the fact his defense just hadn't been able to stop the Panthers all afternoon, and he saw that as an opportunity to keep them from getting the ball back.
3rd down and 7 for Southeast Missouri State at the Eastern 23. They're no doubt in 4-down territory here. They're 2 for 9 on 3rd down today. Lathrop's got him in the shotgun. He's got Foster wide to the right with Lloyd. Here's the snap. They're going to hand on a draw up the middle. Jackson grabbed and stopped by Fonte and Haynes at the 22. 1-yard pickup on the draw to Jackson. So now it's 4th down and about 7, and maybe the field goal team coming on. That looks like the call here, and this is a group that has not had a lot of success on field goals. 2 for 6 on the year. They've had 2 freshman kickers kind of trading off. This is Alex Knight, who is 1 for 2 on the year. This is going to be a 39-yard try with kind of a tricky crosswind from his left to his right. The holder is a former punter, Joe Vusic. Left-footed kicker, good snap, placed down. Kick is up, long enough, and it is no good. Wide to the right, he missed it. So the field goal misses, and Eastern will get the ball back with exactly 6 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Panthers still on the lead by a score of 48-20. We're going to take a break. Be back with more in a minute from O'Brien Field on the Panther Football Network.
Eastern Illinois Panther Sports on WEIU are brought to you in part by
Coles County Sanitation and Recycling, a family-owned and operated community service for over 30 years. Commercial, residential, and roll-off. Coles County Sanitation and Recycling, 345-7101.
Additional funding provided by viewers like you. Thank you. WEIU, your home for Eastern Illinois Panther Sports, presents Panther Sports Talk. Highlights, player features, and coaches interviews with host Rich Moser. All things you need to know EIU sports on Panther Sports Talk.
Wednesday at 6 on WEIU.
It's been a good day for Eastern coach Dino Babers. He saw his team hit for 2 long touchdown passes in the first few plays of the game to go ahead 14-0. Panthers led 27-6 at the end of the first quarter. They were up at halftime 41-20, and they've tacked on another long touchdown pass here in the 3rd quarter. Garoppolo has thrown for 3 touchdowns. Shepard Little has run for a career-high 3 touchdowns today. Eastern is ahead 48-20 with 6 minutes to go in the 3rd. Start at their 22-yard line. Little is the running back. 3 wide receivers go to the left. Eric Laura wide to the right. Laura has 7 catches, 122 yards, 1 touchdown today. He caught the long pass early in the game. There's a handoff to Little. Pops up across the 25. Broke a tackle. Hit hard. Got to the 30. For not a very big guy, 5'10", 198, Little takes a pretty good pounding and keeps going, Jack.
Yeah, and he's very quick and elusive, and he is really going to be a good back before he's done at EIU. He is a good back right now.
Travis Sanders brought him down. 9-yard gain to the 31. 2nd down and 1. Fake handoff. Garoppolo throwing out on the left. Hits Lepak across the 35 to the 40. Got a first down. Wrestled out of bounds around the 45. Second catch for Jeff Lepak. Matt Starks takes him out of bounds on the far side. So 2 catches for Lepak. He got shut out last week at Austin Peay. 1st and 10 Eastern at their 45. Out of the pistol. Make it the shotgun. Garoppolo hands it to Little. Gets across the 50, brought down at the 47 of Southeast Missouri State. About 8 or 9 more for Shepard Little. He's over 100 yards today. Roper Garrett tackled him at the SEMO 46.
Redhawks have a young defense. I'm sure they've never seen anything quite like this before.
And they played Murray State last week, which is up-tempo too. 2nd and 1. Garoppolo back, looking deep. A lot of time. Steps left, still looking. Now throwing the bomb for Gober, and it is intercepted at the 5-yard line. Garoppolo underthrew it a little bit, throwing it directly into the wind, and Ron Davis picked it off at the 5-yard line.
That was a case, though, really, as the ball was not especially well thrown. But I think Gober's got to fight a little bit harder for that, as he's got to become the defensive back, and looked like his little alligator arms there didn't really reach out and make a real good attempt to catch that ball.
He was trying to kind of drift toward the end zone when he made the catch, instead of coming back to meet the ball a little more that he could have and use his height at 6'3" over the taller defender.
Exactly.
5th interception this year for Garoppolo. First turnover of the day for either team. And Southeast Missouri State takes over at their 6-yard line. Still 48-20 in favor of Eastern. Lathrop out of the shotgun, handoff. Ron Coleman hit hard and stopped for no gain. Coleman through the middle, and Eastern was there to bring him down for just a maybe a half a yard or so. Wycliffe is there on the tackle for the Panthers.
Panthers have done a nice job defensively in this quarter. The last time SEMO had the football, they had a nice drive, but Eastern bent but did not break and eventually took over the ball following the missed field goal attempt.
2nd and 10 Redhawks at their 6-yard line. Lathrop in the shotgun. There's the snap. He's back to pass in his end zone. Rolling to the right, had to dodge the rush, throws it to the sideline. It's caught by Spencer Davis, a first down at the 18-yard line. LaQuince McCall was in the backfield putting pressure on Lathrop, who had to dodge a man in his end zone to get that pass away.
That was a nice effort there by Lathrop, as it looked like the Panthers had a great opportunity of coming up with a safety, but Lathrop's elusiveness paid dividends for him there.
13-yard pickup on the pass to Davis gets him out of the hole at the 19-yard line. 1st and 10 Redhawks. Handoff to Lewis Washington, sweep to the right, gets across the 20, broke a tackle, 25, all the way to the 30 before he's brought down by McCall. Lewis Washington for the first down. He's 5'10", 245. They've got some big backs on this SEMO team. A couple of weeks ago, Washington tied a national record with a 99-yard touchdown run against Tennessee State. That one will never be topped.
Wonder how many people have tied that record.
I don't know. 1st and 10 Redhawks at their 31. Lathrop in the shotgun. 2 wideouts go to the left. There's the snap. He's going to keep it on a drop play to the left. Comes to the outside. Now cuts back and is brought down around the 34. McCall and Delphonse on the tackle for Eastern. About a 4-yard pickup for Lathrop with 3:25 to go in the 3rd quarter. The clock is running. Eastern Illinois leads Southeast Missouri State 48-20. I've got Eastern for 572 total yards to 268 for SEMO. 2nd down 6 Redhawks at their 35. They have picked up the tempo a little bit here in the second half, not looking to the sideline quite as long as they were early. They've got Washington in the game at running back. McRoberts goes wide to the right. Davis in the slot to the right. 2 tight ends in the game. Here's Lathrop. Shotgun snap. He's going to throw it on the right, and it's caught by Davis, tackled immediately by McCall, short of the first down to the 38.
Davis made that reception looking right back into the sun, and we know how difficult that can be this time of the year as it's shining brightly here at O'Brien Field, but it didn't seem to bother Davis. When the team moving to the north, though, throws to its right, the receivers will have to contend with that.
3rd down, 2 to go. Southeast Missouri State at their 39. In the shotgun, they've got Coleman in the game at running back. Down to 2:17 to go 3rd quarter. Eastern Illinois leading Southeast Missouri State 48-20 at O'Brien Field. Here's Lathrop in the gun on 3rd and 2. There's the snap. Quarterback draw. Runs it to the right. Ran into his own blocker and went down. Might have lost a yard. Alex Helms is there to make the play for Eastern. Kind of pushed the blocker right back into Lathrop's back, and that's snuffed that play out.
Well, in a similar situation earlier this quarter, they went for it, so I would expect that they will do it now.
Eastern defensive coordinator Kim McLeod signaling the Panther defense in on 4th and 3 for SEMO at their 38. Lathrop out of the gun, There's the snap. He looks to throw, throws on the right, and it's caught for a first down by McRoberts. Stepped out of bounds at the SEMO 46. McRoberts with his 6th catch and a first down on the 4th down conversion for the Redhawks. Stops the clock with 1:34 to go in the 3rd quarter. Lathrop on 1st down and 10 now at the Southeast Missouri State 46. This is a pretty good drive for them now. They've moved it 40 yards in 7 plays since taking over at the 6-yard line on the interception. Here's Lathrop out of the shotgun. Handoff to Coleman, sweeping left, coming to the outside. Stiff arms a man. He's going to be ridden down by that man. DJ Bland, who's given up a lot of size to Coleman, did a good job to stay with him on the stiff arm, Jack.
Yeah, he really did. It was kind of like a very physical dance there for a few yards, and Coleman couldn't get his shoulders turned upfield and was eventually brought down for a very short gain.
2-yard gain to the 48. 2nd down and 8 to go for the Redhawks. We're in the final minute of the 3rd quarter. Lathrop in the shotgun. 2 wideouts go to the right. Here's Lathrop. Fakes a handoff. Rolling right. Being blitzed. Gets it. Throws to the right. Incomplete. Nearly picked off by Bland. And Paul McRoberts, the wide receiver, played defensive back to break up what would have been an interception.
He reached in at the last minute and poked that ball away. And credit the Panther rush that time for all sorts of pressure on Lathrop.
I think it was Nick Beard, thank you, Gail, who almost had the interception here. Boytilla almost knocked the ball away from the quarterback, too, as he got ready to throw it. It's 3rd and 8 for Southeast Missouri at their 47. Here's Lathrop in the shotgun. He's got Lloyd and Foster to the right. He's got Davis and McRoberts to the left. Eastern has got 5 guys up on the line. Now Antonio Taylor falls back. Lathrop runs option right, has to cut back and is pulled down. Dino Fonte headed him off at the pass and stopped him before he could get very far down the line and brought him down for no gain.
Fonte has played an outstanding game this afternoon. You've called his number a lot.
It's 4th and 9 as Fonte stops Lathrop for a 1-yard loss. SEMO with 15 seconds to go in the quarter may want to hurry here and get this punt off. Well, they've still got a little breeze at their back, I think. It's down to 6 seconds, and it looks like they're just going to be content to punt the other direction on the first play of the 4th quarter. So that's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score Eastern Illinois 48 and Southeast Missouri State 20. We'll be back to start the 4th quarter in 1 minute on the Panther Football Network.
Eastern Illinois Panther Sports on WEIU are brought to you in part by Johnson's Automotive Service is a proud supporter of Panther Sports on WEIU. Johnson's is a complete car facility for all your automotive repair and maintenance needs. Johnson's Automotive Service, keeping your life running. Additional funding provided by viewers like you. Thank you.
Largest homecoming crowd in Eastern history on hand today, 11,569. We've seen the Panthers take a 48-20 lead into the 4th quarter. Southeast Missouri State's got 4th down and 8, and they've got the punt team out there to start the 4th quarter. Eastern getting up close to 500 total yards here, Jack. Garoppolo's up over 300 yards passing again.
Yeah, actually the Panthers now with 573 yards.
Shepard Little, Eric Laura are deep for Eastern at their 10-yard line to return this punt by Alex Knight, who's done a good job of angling the ball away from the return guys today. There's the snap, but a penalty flag blows the play dead before it gets going. It's going to be a false start penalty against Southeast Missouri State. Referee Steve Hazel.
5 yards, 4th down.
We missed Steve telling you it's a false start against the kicking team. It'll put the Redhawks back at their 42. Alex Knight today averaging 38.5 yards per kick. This will be his 7th punt of the day. Panthers have brought those return guys up quite a bit now. Laura's up near the 30. There's the snap. There's the kick to the far side. And it's going to go out of bounds around the 25-yard line. We'll see where they spot this.
Mike's punt goes out of bounds.
On the 21.
20-yard line. First down, Panthers.
So Alex Knight again angles it away from the return guys. 37 yards on the punt. And with 14:53 to go in the game, Eastern's offense comes back out.
Obviously, we are a long way away from that play as it occurred on the far side of the field, but from this vantage point, it looked like SEMO got a very favorable spot on that.
I'd say at least 5 yards favorable from what I thought I saw. Garoppolo today, 367 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. Taylor Duncan's got 80 yards rushing. Shepard Little's got 115 rushing. And now with Duncan coming back out into the game, Eastern could be in a position here before long where they have 2 100-yard rushers. They've got 2 100-yard receivers today. Drake and Laura are over 100. First and 10 at the 21. Garoppolo's got him in the shotgun. He's got Gober wide to the left, Drake in the slot, Laura wide to the right. First and 10 EIU. Handoff up the middle. Duncan squeezes through a small hole across the 25 to the 26. 5-yard pickup for Duncan. He's coming off his career high last week, 128 yards and 2 touchdowns at Austin Peay. Also had a career high 5 catches, 41 yards last week. Second and 5 Eastern from their 26. Panthers will take, I think, a little more time now with the 4-touchdown lead in the fourth quarter. They're playing like SEMO is right now, like a bunch of guys waiting around a bus stop or something. Letting the play clock run down. It's down under 10 seconds. They've got the signal now from the sideline. Here's Garoppolo out of the shotgun, 2nd and 5. Hands up the middle, Duncan. Big hole, 30, 35, cuts back 40, 45, down at the 46. Taylor Duncan, a 20-yard pickup, and now he's over 100 yards as Austin Black brought him down.
2 successive games for Duncan, now over the 100-yard mark, and he's had an outstanding day and has gone over the 1,000-yard mark for his career earlier in the first half.
Duncan came in 3rd in the OVC in rushing. Shepard Little came in 6th in the league, and they're both over 100 yards today. First time they've done that this season. First down and 10 Eastern at their 45 after the 20-yard gain for Duncan. So 2 100-yard rushers and 2 100-yard receivers for the Panthers.
Yeah, that's pretty good balance. That's very difficult to defend.
Out of the shotgun. Penalty flag. They blow the play dead. Probably a false start here.
False start. Offense, number 74. 5 yards, first down.
Left guard Colin Seibert got called for the false start there for Eastern. Put the ball back on the 40 and make it first down and 15 for the Panthers. Eastern about to go over 600 total yards. And they're getting up into the territory now, being one of the top total yard games in Eastern history. 637 is 5th on the all-time list. That was a game last year at Tennessee Martin that the Panthers lost. Now check that. That was back in '98. I take that back. First and 15 at the 40. There's the snap. Handoff. Duncan hit behind the line. Stopped at the 38 on good penetration by Travis Sanders from defensive end. He got to Duncan right after Taylor took the handoff and knocked him down for a 2-yard loss.
Mike, to answer your question about if the wind's favoring either end, on that last play, there was a hot dog wrapper that got out on the field, and it was moving almost straight north. So, yeah, there is a breeze out of the south as well as the west.
So Eastern has the wind mainly at their back here in the fourth quarter.
And the sun has gone down, so it should present no visibility problems for the receivers.
Second down, 17 for Eastern. They're right now running the play clock down pretty much all the way between plays. From their 38, Garoppolo back to pass, fakes a short one on the left. Now he's rolling out to the right, to the far sideline. He's going to keep it, and he runs out of bounds across the 40, somewhere around the 42 maybe. Yeah, I think they spotted him back on the 39. So only a 1-yard gain on the scramble for Garoppolo. He was setting up a screen pass on the right, and it wasn't there, so he just improvised at that point. Third down from the 39. It's 3rd down and 14 yards to go. Garoppolo with the 367 yards passing today. It's the 15th time in his career he's gone over 300 passing. He's back to pass, looking, steps up into the right, fakes. Now he's going to run at the 45, dodged a man to the 50, and he's tackled there at the 50-yard line, short of the first down. So Garoppolo runs it 2 plays in a row, brought down by John Slania. Picked up 11 to the 50, and Eastern not taking the offense off. It's 4th and 5, and they're looking like they may go for it.
Kind of a surprise here, leading in the ball game by 28 points, but.
And they may even try to draw the SEMO offsides. A 5-yard penalty for offsides here would not quite be a first down. It would be 4th and less than a yard if that happened.
Yeah, certainly it would be a manageable situation.
Right now they're letting the clock run down. It's down to 10 seconds on the play clock. 11:25 to go in the game. Garoppolo in the gun on 4th and 6. Going to go for it at the 50. There's the snap. Back to pass. Throwing to the left. It's caught by Laura. First down. It is Laura. And he's down at the 43. So they pick it up on the pass over the middle on the left side to Laura. And he's got a first down on his 8th catch today.
First catch for Laura here in the second half after leading all receivers in the first half with 7.
Eastern up over 600 total yards now after that 8-yard pickup to Laura. He was brought down by Andy McNeil. Panthers just picked up their 25th first down of the game. They lead the nation in first downs per game. Somewhere right around 27 or 28 first downs a game averaged by the Panthers this year. They've got 1st and 10 now at the Southeast Missouri State 42. Gobers wide to the right. Laura to the left with Drake. Out of the pistol. Handoff straight ahead. Duncan hit at the 40. Falls forward to the 39. Gain of 3. Eastern right now working on the clock as much as we have seen them all year long.
That's exactly right. They're taking their time at the line of scrimmage. They're running the football much more than they're passing it. And as a result, we've got 5 minutes, almost 5 minutes off this 4th quarter in a very short period of time.
Sanders and East teamed up on that last tackle after the 3-yard run for Duncan. Ball's at the SEMO 39. 2nd down, 7 to go. Gober to the right with Laura. Double tight ends in the game. And Jason Schumann in there with Andre Hodge. Garoppolo under center. Pitch back to Duncan, heading left, looking for the cutback, and finds about 2 yards to the 37. Stopped by John Slania, a sophomore out of South Elgin High School up in the Chicago area.
Duncan tried to cut that back, but then Slania was there waiting for him, knocking him down after a short gain.
Eastern has now taken over 5 minutes off of the clock on this possession. This will be the 9th play of the drive, which started at their 21. 3rd down, 6 to go. Ball at the SEMO 38.
And you have to figure, since they went for it before, if they don't get it here, they'll go for it again on 4th down.
Gober goes wide to the right. Laura's in the slot on the right. Garoppolo's going to move up under center. Hodge is going to move into the fullback spot in the eye in front of Duncan. 3rd and 6. Jimmy back to pass. Sets up, gunning it up the right sideline. Intercepted at the 20-yard line. At the 25, there's a penalty flag. At the 30, back to the 38. Interception made by Zach Levy and Eric Laura on the tackle for Eastern. Let's check the flag. Levy was playing a short zone there, Jack, and Garoppolo did not put a lot of zip on that pass, and Lee did not see Levy dropping back into coverage. He stepped in front of Laura, picked it off.
That's the key. He just didn't see the defender who was sliding back down to get into the play.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense, number 8, declined, first down.
Okay, Laura was the ineligible receiver, and what that means is Laura was not lined up properly. He was apparently on the line of scrimmage. Watch Levy on this replay, see if we can see him coming from the right side of the screen, dropping back in front of Laura. There he is.
Yeah, it almost looked like he was out on a receiving pattern there for the Panthers as he was running back towards his own goal line and made a nice interception. But as you said, that was a case of Garoppolo just not seeing the defender. 2nd
interception of the day, in fact, of the half, thrown by Garoppolo. And so Southeast Missouri State will take over at their 38-yard line. Well, they're pretty much now can't run the ball. They pretty much got to go to the air. 1st down and 10. Lathrop will run it with Jackson heading to the left, and he is snowed under for about a 1-yard gain. Well, I guess if running is your game, you stick with it, but they're not going to catch up handing the ball off like that.
No, they're not. Perhaps with just a little over 8.5 minutes left to play in the ball game, Southeast Missouri thinks they need to do what they do best, and instead of trying to pass it and risking the chance that this could really get ugly from a score standpoint.
Jackson got tackled for no gain by Dan Chisholm, and then Jackson was shaken up a little bit, and he walked off. The trainers came out a couple of steps, but he didn't need their help to get off. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Southeast Missouri State from their 38. They send 3 wideouts to the right. They've got Coleman in the game at running back. Lathrop in the shotgun. Here's a waist-high snap. Lathrop back to pass, looking to the right, throwing it to the right sideline. Caught by Davis at the 40, up the sideline, pushed out by McCall at the 43. 5-yard pickup on the 5th catch today by Spencer Davis. Penalty flag, though, at the end of the play.
Once again, it's going to have some sort of unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against one of these teams, or unless it's offsetting.
Clock stops with 8:33 to go in the game. We owe you a station break. We're past time. Let's go ahead and take that right now. We'll pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Panther Football Network.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense, number 4. 15 yards, 3rd down.
Unsportsmanlike conduct called against Southeast Missouri State after the play. So the play counts, and then the 15-yard penalty will put them back to make it 3rd down and about 20 to go.
And the penalty was called on the individual who made that reception, Spencer Davis. And Mike, I would suppose SEMO's offensive unit would be the Spencer Davis group, right?
Well, I was thinking about that coming in. Was it the Spencer Davis? Is that right?
Yeah, and I got to be the only one probably old enough to remember the Spencer Davis group. Okay. And of course they got DeMichael Jackson too, so this is quite the musical group here for.
3rd down and 20 for the Redhawks at their 28. Lathrop in the gun, back to pass, setting up a screen over the middle, and it's incomplete. Nobody near it. In fact, Anthony Goodman of Eastern was the guy closest to the football. He was sneaking up out of the secondary, and had Lathrop put a little bit more air into that, Goodman would have picked it off and run it back for a touchdown. Clinton Simpkins was putting the pressure on the quarterback. It's 4th and 20. Punt team will come out for the Redhawks with 8:22 left to go in the game. 48-20, Eastern Illinois with the lead. Panthers jumped out 14-0 at the start. They were up 27-6 at the end of the first quarter. And Eastern's got the only 7 points of the second half so far.
Alex Knight will punt.
Alex Knight back to punt. Shepard Little, Eric Laura are deep. There's the snap. And again, McKnight will aim a line drive to the left, bounces around the Eastern 40, and not much further. Pretty much dies right there.
Punt goes out of bounds inside the Panthers' 40-yard line. It'll be 1st down.
So with 8:14 left to go, we'll get a timeout here with the score. Eastern Illinois 48, Southeast Missouri State 20. Back in a minute on the Panther Football Network.
Fans, please take a look at the scoreboard. It's time for the quarter.
Eastern Illinois Panther Sports on WEIU are brought to you in part by At Carl, we dedicate ourselves to helping you be great. And we have the expertise and inspiration to help you stay that way. Additional funding provided by viewers like you. Thank you.
Local radio, local news, local information.
Local sports.
Up-to-date weather twice an hour. The EIU Morning Mix with Rob Calhoun and friends.
We play your requests. The safe station for your kids and the workplace.
Live EIU Panther Sports.
On your 13 TV in the morning.
On WEIU TV Digital 51.6 all the time.
Streaming at WEIU.net.
Everything a radio station can be, we are.
This is Zipix 88.9 WEIU.
Coming weekend, a big success.
8 minutes, 14 seconds left to go in the game. Eastern Illinois comfortably in front here, 48-20 over Southeast Missouri State. And the Panthers are getting the ball back to start a drive at their 39-yard line. And if it's like the last drive, it'll mainly be an exercise in Eastern taking a lot of time, kind of out of character between snaps and trying to run down the clock as best they can.
Really seems strange to see the Panthers play this way after watching them the last couple of seasons. Although there were some games last year that they started to work the clock a little bit.
First down handoff, Shepard Little up the middle across the 40 to the 45, got to the 47. So an 8-yard burst by Little. Matt Starks brought him down.
Matt Starks in on the tackle.
Shepard Little's got 124 yards rushing. Taylor Duncan's got 106. Panthers have got 252 rushing today, 375 passing.
Well, when you're trying to run the clock and run the football, not much better you can do than pick up 8 yards on first down. That makes moving the chains pretty easy.
Second down, 2 to go for Eastern Illinois at their 47. 7.5 minutes to go in the game. Garoppolo out of the shotgun with Little on his left. And they hand it to Little. Angles left, gets across the 50, got a first down, brought down at the Eastern 47 by Starks. Shepard Little is a pretty talented guy, Jack, and if he breaks away, he's hard to catch.
Yeah, he's a very fast back. We talked about the difference between Little and Duncan, how it gives the Panthers a nice mix at the running back position.
Yeah, Garoppolo has come out of the game, and Ben Kroll, the backup quarterback, has just checked in for Eastern. Kroll is 6'6", a 247-pound sophomore out of Woodstock, Illinois, Marian Catholic High School. Playing in his, I believe, third game this season.
Kind of working his right arm like he expects to be throwing it, but I would be surprised if he does.
He hands it to the backup running back, Jimmy Lira, who runs straight ahead across the 45 and gets to the 41. So backup quarterback, backup running back in the game. Jimmy Lira, a junior from Lake Park, Florida, on the carry. Terrence Hill stopped him. Gain of about 6.
Kind of.
And now the whole starting offensive line just came out in one group, too, and the backups are in.
Kind of a change in approach from what we saw at Austin Peay, Mike, where it was pretty much pedal to the metal the entire game offensively.
Eastern has run 71 plays so far today, and that Dino likes to get 100, but that's always the goal. But only had 63 or 65 last week. Second down and 4. Here's Laura with the snap. He fakes, pass out on the right. Is caught by Pendergrass at the 40 to the 35, upended at the 33. It's a first down. Trey Pendergrass on the catch from Laura. First catch for Pendergrass today, and a SEMO player is shaken up over on the far side. While we have this chance, let's go ahead and take a break. We've got 6 minutes to go. Eastern is ahead 48-20. We'll be back in a minute on the Panther Football Network.
Official timeout.
Eastern Illinois Panther Sports on WEIU are brought to you in part by
Arby's Restaurant, locally owned with locations in Charleston and Mattoon, offering roast beef, curly fries, roast burgers, market fresh salads, and milkshakes. Arby's proudly supports the broadcast of Panther Sports on WEIU.
Additional funding provided by viewers like you. Thank you.
Out of the shotgun, Garoppolo rolling out to his right. Pump fake, steps up, looking, throwing the bomb. Going for Gober, back of the end zone. Touchdown, Eastern Illinois!
Eastern Illinois Panther football is on WEIU. The high-flying EIU Panthers, led by quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, continue their run at back-to-back OVC championships as they welcome OVC rival Tennessee Tech to O'Brien Field. It's the Panthers and Golden Eagles, Saturday, November 2nd at 12. WEIU is your home for Panther football.
Southeast Missouri State's got an injured player, and on the right in front of their bench across the way, and we've not been able to identify for sure yet who that is. So we'll hold off until we know for sure. Their training staff has been around him here the entire time. Clock is stopped with exactly 6 minutes to go. Eastern ahead by a score of 48-20. Panthers are going to go to 6-1 on the season, and they'll be 3-0 in the OVC after this one. Tennessee State still with that big lead over Tennessee Martin. Looks like Tennessee State will be 4-0 going into their game next week. Tell you what, I think, well, they have the player is Terrence Hill. He's a redshirt freshman linebacker from Kansas City. And they got him up, and he is walking off under his own power with some assistance from the trainers. But good to see him walk off the field at least. So
it'll be 1st and 10 Panthers at the Red Hawks 33.
Meanwhile, Eastern's offense comes back out. They've got the backup linemen in the game. Should be Charlie Athens at center, Matt Parks and Evan Cans at guard, Jason Schumann and Adolphus Barnes at the tackles. A handoff up the middle. This is, I think, Lira. Across the 30, it is Lira, and he's brought down around the 29.
Jimmy Lira.
Gain of about 3 more yards for Lira. So Eastern will work on the clock here. Eastern Kentucky leads Tennessee Tech 17-3 at the end of the third. Austin Peay leads, Murray State leads Austin Peay 14-0 late in the second. And Tennessee State, a final score. They beat Tennessee Martin 29-15.
Well, that sets up a very interesting ball game next week in Nashville.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that before we leave the air here. It'll be at 4 o'clock next Saturday. North Dakota State, the #1 team, has taken a 21-10 lead at Southern Illinois late in the third quarter. Second down, 5 to go for Eastern. There's a handoff. Lyra runs into the middle of the pack and now bounced away and got yardage to the 20, all the way down to the 17. Lyra ran kind of into the pack and then just sort of waited and then sort of ran around the outside of it and got downfield before Ben Cargill brought him down.
I think some of the SEMO defenders thought that play was over and that Lyra was down, but he wasn't. And actually, he might have scored had he not run into the umpire at about the 20-yard line.
12-yard gain for Lyra. First and 10 for Eastern at the 17-yard line. Clock's running. We're down to 4:50 to go in the game. Panthers running it down as much as they can on every snap now. Illinois State wins big in Normal today, 55-14 over Indiana State. Sycamores have dropped off again this year. All right, here's Ben Kroll, the backup quarterback on 1st and 10. Shotgun snap. He's going to throw a pass. It's caught on the right by Pendergrass at the 15, and he's driven back and tackled around the 19, and there's a penalty flag. Looked to me like there might have been a face mask on the tackle. They're going to spot this back at the 19, but we'll check the flag here, thrown by the referee, Steve Hazel.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 50. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Alex Schwab, the backup linebacker, got called for the face mask penalty, so that'll put the ball somewhere around the 10 and give Eastern 1st and goal.
Anthony Taylor, one of the wide receivers for the Panthers, he's a redshirt freshman. He was out there blocking on that play and was engaged with the defender while that ball was in the air. Sometimes you see pass interference called on something like that, but not this time.
First down and goal to go for Eastern at the 9-yard line. And again, standing at the line, watching the play clock run and the game clock. It'll be about 4 minutes to go in the game when the ball is snapped here. Ryan Meyer goes wide to the left. Also Brandon Barker wide to the left, a backup wide out. First down snap, handoff up the middle. Lyra dances to the right, got to about the 7. And they drive him back there. Andy McNeil made the tackle, a sophomore linebacker from Eureka, Missouri. 2-yard pickup for Jimmy Lyra. Lyra, third game in which he has had carries now. I've got Eastern up over 660 yards of total offense, and right now that would be the 5th highest game in school history for total yards.
And yet, at least from a scoring standpoint, this second half has been very quiet.
Yep.
At least by Panthers standards.
How our expectations change, huh?
Yeah,
no,
absolutely.
It doesn't take long, does it? Clock running, 3:18 to go. Second down and goal at the 7. Here's the snap to Laura, gives up the middle. Lyra gets across the 5, brought down at the 4. 3 more yards for Jimmy Lyra. It'll bring up third down and goal to go.
And once again, the Panthers are in 4-down territory because they won't be trying a field goal here in this situation.
Eastern 48, Southeast Missouri State 20. Redhawks will be at home next Saturday. They'll take on Eastern Kentucky next Saturday afternoon in Cape Girardeau. Their record will be 1-6, and they'll be 1-3 in the OVC going into that game next week. Play clock at 7 as Lyra and Laura set him up in the backfield on 3rd and goal at the 4. Snap to Laura, gives up the middle. Lyra broke 1 tackle, got to the 3 and is driven back. It'll be 4th and goal as Lyra got a yard. Assume Eastern will go for it. They're not going to kick a field goal here. I always feel a little sorry for the running back here, Jack, because they know, Simo knows exactly what's going to happen.
You know, football doesn't have nearly as many of those unwritten rules as baseball, but this is kind of an interesting one because if the Panthers kicked a field goal here, it would be running up the score. But if they score a touchdown and get 6 points, nobody really would complain about it.
Unless they threw a pass or something.
Well, yeah. Double reverse
I doubt we see that here. It's 4th and goal at the 3. Here's Ben Kroll to take the snap. There's the snap. Hands off up the middle. Lyra dodges left, and he's in for the touchdown for Jimmy Lyra. First touchdown of the career of junior Jimmy Lyra on a 3-yard run with 1:38 left to go in the game.
And his teammates celebrate with him because that's a victory not only for Lyra getting into the end zone, but for the entire second unit, as that was a very nice drive by the Panthers.
61 yards in 11 plays. They chewed up 6.5 minutes with the second team offense in for almost the entire drive. Good job for Lyra following the block of offensive lineman Deshaun Wilburn into the end zone.
He showed a lot of patience on that run.
Cameron Barra's extra point attempt, placed down, line drive kick, and it is good. We'll take a break. A minute 38 left. Eastern Illinois 55, Southeast Missouri State 20 on the Panther Football Network.
Eastern Illinois Panther Sports on WEIU are brought to you in part by
Buffalo Wild Wings Mattoon, offering a variety of atmospheres, daily specials, over 15 sauces, and a large selection of beer. Whether it's a business lunch, an outdoor scene, night of sports, or just a wild night, Buffalo Wild Wings has it. 124 Detro Drive, Mattoon.
Additional funding provided by viewers like you. Thank you.
Here's a classic movie quiz. 1987's Raising Arizona stars Holly Hunter and Nicolas Cage.
That there's the kitchen area where Mom and Pa chow down.
Who was the film's cinematographer?
We never done this before.
It was Barry Sonnenfeld, who went on to direct Men in Black. You provide the popcorn, the couch, and the TV. We'll provide great movies like Raising Arizona.
Tune in tonight at 8 o'clock on WEIU.
Eastern Illinois has outscored SEMO 14-0 in the second half. Panthers have a 55-20 lead with a minute 38 to go before the largest homecoming crowd in Eastern history, 11,569, one of the top 10 crowds in school history today.
670 yards of total offense for EIU in this ballgame.
That would be fifth best in school history. Second time this year. They've only the second best this year. Taylor Kerr to kick off from the right to the left with only a minute 38 to go in the game. Junior out of Indianapolis on the run up, and here's the kick right down the middle to Spencer Davis at the 8-yard line. He's up to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. He's gone. Spencer Davis breaks loose down the far sideline, and he'll take it all the way, 92 yards for the touchdown. Spencer Davis probably on that play just broke the SEMO record for most career kickoff return yards. Eastern had one guy kind of lay a hand on him there, Jack, around his own 40, and he shook off that tackle and took it the rest of the way.
Kind of got him by the jersey, and Spencer Davis just pulled away from that. That is the second touchdown for special teams for SEMO in this game.
They had a block punt return for a touchdown earlier. There was the little trip up, and he was able to break out of that tackle, and then it was clear sailing after that for Spencer Davis down the sideline. Bad snap, though. And they're chasing after it, and the extra point attempt is no good as McKnight has to fall on the ball back at the 20. So we'll take our last break with a minute 26 to go. It's Eastern Illinois 55, Southeast Missouri State 26 on the Panther Football Network.
Eastern Illinois Panther Sports on WEIU are brought to you in part by
Sarah Bush Lincoln Health System, providing care for all and creating healthy communities, offering general and specialty medicine and a complement of diagnostic and rehabilitative services. Sarah Bush Lincoln, trusted, compassionate care.
Additional funding provided by viewers like you. Thank you.
Out of the shotgun, Garoppolo rolling out to his right. Pump fake, sets up, looking, throwing the bomb, going for Gober, back of the end zone. Touchdown, Eastern Illinois!
Eastern Illinois Panther football is on WEIU. The high-flying EIU Panthers, led by quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, continue their run at back-to-back OVC championships as they welcome OVC rival Tennessee Tech to O'Brien Field. It's the Panthers and Golden Eagles, Saturday, November 2nd at 12. WEIU is your home for Panther football.
A kickoff return of 92 yards by Davis, the second longest in Southeast Missouri State history. And Eastern's total yardage today is the fifth best in Eastern history, and it's the most yards Southeast Missouri State has ever given up in a game. Dino Babers will improve to 8-0 at O'Brien Field with this win here. Panthers' 8-game home winning streak came in fourth longest in the nation. There's the kickoff to the far side. It's going to bounce across the 10. Picked up back there by, I think this is Deshaun Wilburn, or Walker rather. Elvin Walker fumbles the ball, and I think SEMO got it on the 11-yard line.
Recovered by Southeast.
They did. Redhawks recover as Elvin Walker on that return fumbled it, and Eastern turns it over for the third time today.
Well, if the Panthers want to have something to work on this next week, I would suppose it probably will be special teams, because they've had a punt block, they've missed an extra point, they've had a kickoff return for a touchdown, and now they fumbled a kickoff. So
give Southeast Missouri State a chance to tack on more points. Ron Davis recovers at the Eastern 12-yard line. So with 1:19 to go, SEMO's got the ball and a chance to get more. They could get up over the 30-point mark if they could punch it in the end zone here. 1st and 10 Redhawks at the Eastern 12. Here's Lathrop out of the shotgun, looking to throw. He's going to throw it into the right corner of the end zone for Foster. Broken up, incomplete. Good coverage back there in the back corner of the end zone for Eastern by Deontay Jackson, a backup defensive back. Foster is 6'4", so he's a pretty inviting target down there on the goal line.
yeah, that was a situation where Foster became the defensive back, knocking that ball away, as it looked like that was a real opportunity for Jackson to pick that one off.
It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 12 for Southeast Missouri State. Eastern has got, looks like pretty much all second-team guys in on defense. Here's Lathrop out of the shotgun. Looks to pass again. He's going to throw it to the left. Too high. Incomplete. McRoberts actually, I think, caught the football, but he was out of bounds when he did. It's incomplete on the far sideline.
Looked like that was a one-handed grab by McRoberts. He's made some nice catches in this game.
Lathrop today, 14 out of 21 passing. Only 105 yards, though. Nothing down the field very much. Anthony Goodman was on the coverage for Eastern on that last play. It's 3rd down, 10 to go for Southeast Missouri at the Eastern 12. 1:09 to go in the game. McRoberts to the left, Foster to the right, Davis in the slot on the right. Here's Lathrop looking to throw again. Throws a slant on the left. It's caught. It's a touchdown. McRoberts with it. Takes it into the end zone for the touchdown. McRoberts went down and cut to the inside, and Lathrop threw a pretty nice pass there into a tight window for McRoberts' touchdown. So 2 touchdowns in the last minute and a half of the game for Southeast Missouri State. This one comes with 1:05 to go. And now they'll again bring the go for the 1-point conversion. They've only converted 2 out of 4 of these today. It's 55-32 in favor of Eastern. Knight lines up the extra point kick at the south end of the stadium. It's placed down. Kick is up. And the kick is good. And we're going to hold it right here with 1:05 to go in the game.
McRoberts came into this game averaging over 18 yards per catch, so he's a very inviting target for Lathrop, and that was another touchdown for the young man.
55-33 our score, and Jack, I think the Panthers will be able to hold on and win this one, even though they've given up 13 points here in the last minute, but that'll set up a big one next Saturday at Tennessee State. Not just the top 2 teams in the OVC right now, Tennessee State at 4-0, Eastern at 3-0 after today. This is the #1 offense in FCS against the #1 defense going into today.
Yeah, that's the classic matchup. Obviously, it's more to it than that. You know, it used to be, Mike, that you would say, well, the defense is the most important thing. That would have the advantage. But the way the game has changed, football now is more of an offensive game than it used to be. So I like the Panthers' chances a lot next week in Nashville.
That'll be played at LP Field in Nashville. That's the home of the Tennessee Titans, the big stadium downtown, so there's going to be plenty of tickets. It's a 4 o'clock kickoff, so if you want to even leave on Saturday morning, that works. It's a 5-hour drive from Charleston to Nashville. Looks like the Redhawks have got the onside kick set up here, and Eastern does not have a lot of guys up close. So here's McCrum, and nope, he hits a little sky kick to the far sideline, and a fair catch is taken by Alex Helms at the 39. So that should do it as Alex Helms came up and took that ball.
Helms signaled for a fair catch and then got hit afterwards, but he bobbled the football before he secured it. So I suppose that's why there was no penalty on that play.
So with 1:02 to go, Eastern will bring the offense back out. Probably have to snap it a couple of times to run the clock out on this win. EIU's 8th win in a row at home. That was tied for the 4th longest streak in the nation. It'll be their 7th straight OVC win. They're tied for the 7th longest conference winning streak in the nation. Dino Babers improves to 8-0 at home. Did I say 7 a little bit ago? He's 8-0 at home, and he's 9-1 in conference games. Ben Kroll up into the center to take the snap and knee this out, as coaches like to say. There's the snap, takes a knee, that'll get the clock going. SEMO's got timeouts, but I would not expect them to take them. It'll take one more snap.
Final score really not indicative of the Panthers' dominance in this ball game because of the special team scores by SEMO, and then of course the short field presented after the fumble on the kickoff the last time SEMO had the ball.
Clock down under 40 seconds, so that means that if Eastern snaps it again, they'll be that could be the last one of the day unless SEMO takes a timeout. So Eastern jumped on them early, scored 2 touchdowns in their first 5 offensive plays, jumped out to a 14-0 lead, and coasted home the rest of the way. There's the last snap of the day. Ben Kroll takes the knee, hands the ball to the umpire, and the teams head to the center of the field. Our final score today at O'Brien Field, Eastern Illinois 55 and Southeast Missouri State 33. Kind of another typical performance, what we've come to expect from the Panthers.
It really was, as the Panthers again getting off to a good start, and that's been their tendency throughout the course of this season. Get on top early, and then normally they keep adding to it. They did today, gave up a few points late, but nevertheless a very nice homecoming victory for EIU this afternoon.
Our next broadcast, in fact, well, it's going to wrap up our television coverage of Eastern football. For more post-game coverage, stay tuned on the radio, or you can listen online at EIUPanthers.com. Our next telecast of Panther football on WEIU television will be Saturday, November the 2nd, Eastern at home against Tennessee Tech, 12 noon, Saturday, November 2nd. Our thanks to our spotter, Gail Richard. For Jack Ashmore, this is Mike Brad from O'Brien Field in Charleston, where the final score today was Eastern Illinois 55 and Southeast Missouri State 33. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more post-game coverage on the radio. This is the Panther Football Network.
We're backing them up on that. The backup vocals, a couple of the original Beach Boys were on that recording as well.
Right?
Anyway, yeah, let's just dig into this one. Now, I know there's